Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Grand Platypus Open, number 97. I'm, of course, host Light VIP, and with me, I'm joined by my lovely plushies in the chat and the plushies and the people in chat as well. Ooh, as we are diving into our first GPO in a long time. Actually, it's been a couple of weeks. We actually put GPO on hiatus for a little bit because of ESL Masters. Basically, whenever ESL Masters comes around, because of all the qualifiers, because of all the broadcasts as well, we do put GPO on a small hiatus, but it is back. It is back, and we are here in full swing. Our third broadcast of the day, I guess. We were live with ESL Masters Americas this morning, then KSL this afternoon, and now we are here with GPO in the evening. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Solaris, we have, oh my god, we have the we have the Indian, I was a little bit distracted, but we have the Indian Zerg player representing Maturino Esports. It is Demi. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss from the land of Hong Kong. It is 7 Warrior. And it is good to be back. Good to be back here once again with GPO, with Grand Platypus Open. Ha! Wait, there it is. Ha! I was looking for where the platypus was. Ah, it's so cute. It's beautiful. But yeah, it's great to be back here once again. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. If you wish to have a look at the brackets, it is, again, you know, full of our regulars here. We have Demi from India. We have Gogo Joey from Hong Kong. We have Honmono from the land of Japan. And we have a couple of others as well. Kot is going to be here. I believe his debut in GPO. Kot, of course, is, I believe, a player from Hong Kong, and has been competing in some of these online events, but I believe for the first time here in GPO, so I look forward to seeing how he does perform and how he does compare to some of our other regulars here in the Grand Platypus Open. But before we can sink our teeth into Homono and Gogo Joey and Kot, we're here with our ZVP, and not the first time we've seen the 7 Warrior. 7 Warrior, he's more of an up-and-coming amateur player, so best of luck. It is going to be an uphill battle going up against Demi of all players, so good luck, baby. As Demi is the best player in India, so no slouch here, no slouch whatsoever. So far we have a gate expand here from 7 Warrior, nothing too fancy. Should be getting into our cyber core momentarily as well. Sorry, I said gate expand. I'm pretty sure this is a Nexus first. Oh my god, I just took a moment, it took me a moment to realize just how fast this Nexus was here. So yeah, Nexus first out of 7 Warrior into that gateway, into the cyber core as well. So a very greedy opener here from our Protoss. Nexus is already done, and Demi does see this. With this Overlord coming in, he does confirm how economic, how greedy 7 Warrior has been. And we'll see if we get a punish on this as well. We'll see if we can punish this. For now, we're just droning. We are chilling, just droning, macroing on up, getting into the swing of things here. Demi is at least. And yeah, we'll see if he can just settle into this game and what his approach to 7 Warrior is going to be. As a reminder, if you do look at the brackets, Gogo Joey is waiting for the win of this series, so we're going to be going into from one into the other, eventually into Gogo Joey thereafter as well. As we, oh my god, the nonsense continues, all the crazy turns here out of 7 Warrior. Was a Nexus first. Oh, we have a bit of a pause. But it was a Nexus first here into Gate Cyber Robo, a Robo-based opener instead. Hopefully everything's okay, by the way. Hopefully there's no latency issues. Maybe Uber Eats has arrived. There's a bit of a knock on the door, and we gotta get our food. But yeah, this is, I won't get too much into this, but there we go. Looks like we will soon be diving back into this. But this Robo opener, yeah, very out of the norm, as
game resumed.
Pause has concluded. Now, typically, what is standard here in this matchup is a Stargate opener to get into a third base, or a Twilight Council to be aggressive, then to eventually expand as well. To go for a Robo followed by a Forge is wild. Now, unfortunately, it gets scouted. Unfortunately, the Overlord was over the natural base and does see the Robo. This should be for a 2-base all-in, which this is looking to work towards like a +1 Immortal a kind of like vanilla army here. I say vanilla, it'll have +1, yes, but like I'm thinking slow stalkers, stalkers without blink, slow lots as well, a very aggressive style here from 7 Warrior, and yeah, I'm really curious to see how this is all gonna piece together. Kind of I'm a plushie in the chat. Oh, let's go. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. As for now, never mind. So it is going to be Robo into Forge into a delayed Twilight Council. I'm not too fond of the delayed Twilight Council. Basically, we have a War Prism on the way to harass across the map. But what are we really going to be harassing with here? Especially if we're working on a later upgrade, if we're working on a later tech. This is why I assumed that we would be going Immortal first. Prism moves out, looking to hunt down any kind of Overlords. Overlord is here on the left-hand side. We'll be able to avoid detection here, avoid the Prism for now. As we have the Gateway Explosion, we have 4 gates on the way. 1 gate already done, 5 gates in total here from 7. And we even have a Temple Archives. Oh my god, okay, so it's going to be a 2-base, a Charge Lot, Archon all-in, with Immortals mixed in as well. So when it comes to this build, because of how we kind of got into all this tech, it does mean that Charge is late and the Temple Archives is delayed as well. I feel like we could have pulled this off with a Twilight Council opener instead of a Robo. With this Robo, sure, we get an early War Prism, but we haven't really accomplished much with this. We've been trying to find some Overlord kills. Lings are moving out. I've been focusing a lot on 7 Warrior. Meanwhile, Demi is just going to be droning on up to 53 workers. We have Roaches now on the way. Drop coming into the main. Charge isn't done, by the way, so we'll see what we can get done in the main base, as yeah, the Prism is going to be deflected, and Demi does keep up. Does force back the army. 7 Warrior maybe trying to force an overreaction. Here's an even greater Gateway Explosion, by the way. We have 3 more gates on the way, plus another extra couple here at the natural 5 in total. That's in addition to the 5 that we already had, so that's 10. We're going up to a 10-gate 2-base all-in. Ay, ay, ay. Pure Charge Lots with Immortals. We have the Temple Archives for some Archons, but I don't think we have the money for additional Archons, I'll be honest. This is going to be a tight build here from 7 Warrior. And yeah, we'll see if we can piece it all together. Back at home, Demi has drawn up to 3-base saturation. He hasn't taken his additional gases. He doesn't need them. He's only on 4 gases for the time being, and just focusing on and building up this Roach Ravager Ling army. And as long as Demi isn't too greedy, as long as he maintains unit production here, he should be okay. He should be able to keep up. And here we go. Here comes the all-in. Has been spotted by the Ling. Charge has been revealed. Demi now knows, and he's getting ready. Now, we do have 4 Overlords in production to make sure we do not get supply blocked. And here comes the all-in from 7 Warrior. We have 1 Archon in the mix. We've got 4 Immortals. That's a lot of Immortals. A decent chunk of Zealots, Sentries for Force Fields. Now, we do have Ravagers, thankfully, to deal with those Force Fields and make sure that the army doesn't get caught out. We have to be very on point with said Force Fields. Make sure that we have one in the chamber. We have a buy on the chamber is what I mean. Here we go. The army's going to be pushing out, revealing itself on creep. Demi, though, in position on top of the ramp, denies entry. And 7 Warrior, there's no coming back from this. There's no 3rd base. There's no expansion. It's all or nothing for 7 Warrior. But here on Solaris, you can see here the points of elevation. Like, it's difficult to really push up this ramp. We're trying. We're trying to find a way in, but the longer this goes on, the better it is for Demi. We're missing a couple of Warbin cycles. We could do with another Warbin of Zealots, and there we go. Yeah, Sentries and Zealots on the way. Sorry, High Templar and Zealots on the way. But the longer this goes on, the better it is for Demi. Demi, he is maxed out. He is maxed here on a Roach Ravager army. Oh no! Demi? Demi! We got the pause earlier, and I was concerned about the ping, and oh, it looks like we do have okay, some latency issues, but we have come back. Again, we can always pause and make sure that everything is okay if we do have some more latency issues in the future. But here we go, we're pushing up the ramp. No! That's okay. I don't have ref. I can't pause the game. But we do have a little bit of latency coming in here for Demi, and now is not the time, just as the fight is about to begin. And we're playing it out, okay? I was ready to like wait for a pause, but no, we're gonna be playing it out, and here we go. We're just diving up this ramp here, pushing towards the roaches. Ah, no. The lag, Poppy. I mean, I feel like if this is hurting anyone, it's hurting Demi more so than his opponent. Four shoes have been thrown now. We haven't seen any biles out of Demi because of what's been happening. And if it's up to the players to pause in this moment, and now we're just playing it through. We're fighting through the lag. We see 7 Warrior breaking through the first line here of roaches. Demi pulling back here, getting on top of the Archons. Ah. I don't have the power to pause. No. As sentries are getting picked off one after the other. We're down to a couple of immortals. Again, less than ideal. And I'll definitely message Demi after this just to make sure everything is okay. May have to restart their router, restart their modem, maybe change the VPN. I do know that Demi does use VPNs typically for this tournament. As 7 Warriors committing here, going to be pushing forward. Decent force fields, but they are going to be knocked down. Demi with the CranKy breaks through the sentries, breaks through the zealots, gets on top of the immortals as well. There is nothing left to support this army. GG is going to get called, and Demi will take game number 1. GG. But just very unfortunate that we did have some latency issues there. We had a pause at the start, and I am going to quickly message Demi. And yeah, Demi, he may have to change VPN or maybe have to reset something. Hopefully everything's okay. Not just for this series, but even for future series. Like, Demi is a really strong player, really strong Zerg player, and the last thing he would want here is to have some latency issues in the tournament. So we'll see how this goes. As for now, Demi does take a lead. Does take a lead in the series. It's going to be on 7 Warrior to fight back. We may actually have a bit of a delay to the start here, just because we may have to restart our client. So we're going to be going on a short break here. We're going to be going on a short... Oh. Okay. Okay, we're good, we're good. He's letting me know that for some reason whenever he plays his first series that he always has some latency. Smudge. But yeah, that was a really interesting build out of 7 Warrior. Just to talk about the game a little bit, 7 Warrior, of course, committing to a 2-base all-in off of 10 gates. I'm not opposed to it, but it felt a little bit delayed because of how tech heavy it was. Like, it wasn't just a 10 gate all in. We also had Immortal production and Archons as well. Again, maybe Immortal Zealot would be okay, just so we can hit a little bit sooner. The reality is that if you remember, when 7 Warrior was pushing up the ramp, pushing into Demi, Demi was maxed. Demi had a 200 supply army, which was insane that he was able to get away with that much. But that's because it just took so long for 7 Warrior to actually find a way up the ramp and commit, and actually get into engagement, get into a decent position when pushing up the ramp. So yeah, it was just a rough execution of the build, and we'll see if we have something different in store for us to ourselves here in game number 2. See what else we can bring to the table. But as we do clear up any issues here, it looks like we are going to be going on a short break. When we return, we'll have game 2. We'll have game number 2. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize. I apologize for the extended delays here, but unfortunately, we were just waiting for a little bit there, and Demi could not get his internet back up and running. PC issues as well. There were just a lot going on, and in the end, Demi did end up forfeiting against his opponent. 7 Warrior will advance on to face off against Go-Go Joey, but before that, or as they are facing off, we found ourselves in a very different series. Oh my, we found ourselves in a ZVT. And spawning, as I try to set this up, one moment here. Let's try to set this up, and there we go, spawning as, hold on, I need a lighter shade. Does this work? A bit better. In the top left hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the bottom right, we have as opponent, we have the Pink Zerg from the land of Hong Kong, representing Team Gosu. It is Guts. So, again, it is a bit of a shame that we did have to abandon the previous series, that we only got 1 game out of it, and it's always a shame whenever there's, you know, issues outside of your control, whether they're PC related or internet related. So, unfortunately, Demi will have to forfeit. And I wish the best of luck to 7 Warrior as he does face off against Go-Go Joey in the next round, as we have already found ourselves in our own series here. Again, Got did take down you, the Australian Protoss player, to make it this far, and I'm quite excited here. Again, I mentioned before, I believe this is the debut of COT in this tournament, and for them to face off here in this CVT, I'm ready for it. I'm always excited for Homono duking it out here as in Terran versus Zerg, just because he has a little bit more variety to him. I mean, I appreciate what Homono does against Protoss, but it's usually 2 base all-ins, just different variations of 2 base all-ins against Protoss. And against Zerg, Homono, he is not afraid to macro it up. To make it happen at times, yes, but to play a very bio-heavy composition as well. There's wondering, Homono, of course, he is a GPO champion. He is coming in as one of the higher seeds in this tournament, and he's the one to beat. Can anyone bring him down? I would have said Demi, I would have said Go-Go Joey, but Kots is making his debut here. He's looking to walk that royal road. Homono is going to be quite a challenge before him, and we'll see if Kot can make some magic happen here. Again, going for a hatch gas pull into a 3rd base standard opener out of our Zerg player so far. Nothing too out of the norm. We have link speed on the way, pulled out a gas, and I've casted Kot in the past, but very rarely, really. I think last time I casted Kot was during the Dave Tester tournament, the funky map over. Meanwhile, here we go, we just dive on top of the Overlord. Overlord taking a lot of hits. Up! Oh my god, the Overlord will go down. Hon Mono being cheeky, these 2 Marines. The Hero Marines even, they just waddle across the map. It was Marine first, not Reaper, by the way. We do catch an Overlord. Big pick off here for Hon Mono. Behind this, we have a 3rd CC before Starport. Very economic. I said before that Hon Mono, he's willing to make it happen, and we may even see that here and now because we have Cyclones on the way. No additional Raxes, not yet, as we are looking to chase down another Overlord. Again, that floating Rax should be a bit of a tell here, as Overlord is going to go down. Additional Cyclones are in production as well. Link speed has kicked in, and Homono is looking to push out. Here we go. Back at home, so far everything's looking as it should. We have additional queens on the way, lings as well. We're getting set up on our 3 bases, but we have lost map control, and I'm really curious. Oh my god, this is a 3rd CC before starport into a 4th CC. This is too greedy. This is illegal. This is out of this world. Off of 4 cyclones, we're going up to a 4th CC. Back at home, caught going into a very fast lair, actually. Interesting. This is around a 4-minute lair timing, far earlier than normal. I wonder what the plan is. I wonder if we're going to be taking up heavily into a certain direction, whether we go into Hydras or Spire and Mutas. I'm really curious. Lings, they get across now. They see the CC on the low ground. They see an eBay on the way. But we haven't seen the main. It's possible that Cot may think this is the 3rd when really it's the 4th. I did. Mono just wilding out here. 4th hatchery going to be on the way for Cot on time. 3rd base is getting saturated as we speak. Liz about to finish. We haven't taken additional gases. We don't have additional queens. We only have 6 queens here in total, so this is not for a Nidus all in. 2 more gases are on the way. Are we rushing into a Hydra 10? Yep, there it is. Ling Hydra. So I assumed it would be Hydras because we haven't seen any Baleen nests. Now we get the Eva chambers on the way. 3 gases were taken. 3 gases are typically for Hydra production. 4th gas now in production as well. But before we can get into Ling Hydra, here come the Cyclones, and Cot does not have much on the ground. He's got 14 Lings. The Lings are going to be moving out on the right-hand side, which means this 4th base is exposed. And the base is going to be cancelled. Should be the Lings. They do come in for a surround. They get 1. They get 1 Cyclone, but there's a cancel on the 4th base. One are going to be rotating around, denying a lot of creep here outside that 3rd. And we're going to be denying the 4th once again as we rotate over towards it, and thankfully it wasn't a kill. That's the 2nd factory on the way. It is going to be mech. We have confirmation. In case there were any doubters. Mech is on the way so far. My god, these Cyclones, they've been going ham on these Lings. We just haven't had enough to deal with this. We have Hydras in production, 1-1 on the way. Meanwhile, behind this, Homono, he's fully saturated on 3 bases. That's the 4th, and that's the 5th, and that's a... This is a 6th CC! This is a 6th base on the way. We don't... Oh my god. Homono, he is being so insanely greedy right now. And he has no reason, there's no, I was gonna say no reason for it, but like, again, there's just nothing at home to defend. If these Cyclones got surrounded, if Cod cleans up that army, there is nothing to protect these bases. They are planetaries, bear that in mind. Planetary here is the 3rd, planetary soon to be at the 4th. Lings are coming in. Cod now realizes how far behind he is in the economy. We dive on the mineral line. Going straight for the Cyclones as well. We should be able to get at least 1. Maybe we can get both. But we're going to get none here as we kite back to the planetary. Speaking of, another planetary is on the way as well. Oh my god. I'm not opposed to Ling Hydra. I do actually like Ling Hydra against a Cyclone heavy composition, but we're still working on the upgrades. Infestation Lurker Den on the way. Cod is fully aware of the mech as he did see additional Cyclones. Scan into the main, doesn't see much. Lair was at the natural. Tech is at the natural. And Homeowner, he's looking to cancel the 4th base for a 3rd time. Oof. Without Hydra speed, we're having a hard time keeping up. We just can't fight against the Cyclones. It's not happening. Not for another couple of seconds. So we do focus on a couple of those Cyclones in the end. The Hydra speed has now kicked in. Here we go. Now we can bully this back. 2 more Cyclones. Big losses here for Homeowner. He's bleeding out too much. Looks like he recognizes that. He backs off. This 4th base is going to get up and running. And back at home. Okay, hold on. So let's do so. Okay, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. 7th, 8th, 9th CC. That's a 10th. That's an 11th CC. That's counting here on the CranKy Ducklings. Homeowner barely has an army, and he's investing so much into these command centers and orbitals, and he should be punished for it. COD is up in supplies, collapsing on these cyclones, coming in from behind as well. And this is Homono's army. He has one tank back at home, a couple of reinforcing cyclones as well. Once COD gets out his Vipers, Homono is going to lose map control. He's going to be stuck at home. Now, to be fair, Hive is still in production. Vipers are still not out. Without Vipers, I do think that Homono can probably sustain this army and eventually max out. Like, he's far behind in the supplies, obviously, but his economy is, you know, slowly getting up there, right? We have more planetaries being thrown down, cyclones are being active. If given enough time, Homono will get away with this, is what I'm trying to get at. Oh my god. As the Lunkers have arrived. Well, Spine Shot's going to be going off as well. Hive is done. Still no Lurker upgrades. Still no Vipers either, which is a little bit concerning. We do need them sooner rather than later. I mean, I say that. We're actually not making too... So the reason why I was harping so much on Vipers is because I thought we were going into tanks, because there's one tank. Now we have a second tank on the way. But we're still focusing on Cyclones. We have 8 Cyclones being made at a time. Homono is up to 83 workers, caught up to 91. Jesus. The Lunka's going to be boring. Lurker range on the way. There it is. The Vipers are now on the way as well. With Vipers, we can yoink. We can abduct these Cyclones. We can look to punish and shut them down. Homono is going to be rotating over towards the right-hand side. I'm afraid to look to see how many more CCs we have, as Lurkers are coming in to harass. And with Lurker range, they can get a lot done. And Homono has to race back home. He's been doing a decent job at maintaining control of the map, but, I mean, I say that. COD is on 5 bases. He has a good economy. COD has maxed out with Hydra, Lurker, Viper. Speaking of, these Lurkers are going down. Throwing a lot away, actually. But as Homono is being dragged out of position, we do see COD pushing from the left-hand side. How many Lurkers do we have? Not too many. Not too many Lunkers with this army. We have to back off. Rotate around looking for a better angle of attack. We go. We do see the mass oh my god, the mass cyclones, but we're pushing in. A couple of yoinks here on these cyclones. Not bad trades here for COD, especially with the Lurkers. Like, you can see here, these cyclones pushing into Lurkers, they have a hard time. They have a really hard time breaking through. Up. Oh, the Vipers have gone down. A bit of an overextension here from COD. The Lurkers are being left behind. Ideal here for Homono to be able to fight this Hydra army here outside of range of those Lurkers. Speaking of Lurkers, just going for a big counterattack instead. Cyclones are going to be going down. At the same time, we do have a massive, actually, Lurker counterattack here. Laying siege upon that base. But able to catch quite a number of Cyclones here, actually. Some rough losses. That's 58. 58 Cyclones have gone down. Oh my god. Under the Viper. Once again, an overextension with the Viper. It does fall. Lurkers doing what they can, but pushing into a tank line is not helping, and the tank count is slowly getting higher and higher. Earlier we had 1 tank, now we are up to 5. As Homono still is struggling to max out just because of how poorly he's been trading, but because of his economy, he can afford some rough trades. As things they come in to try to punish this army, but there are so many cycles. They don't care about the Lings. Oh my god, the stutter stepping. The stutter stepping was insane. The lock-ons were crazy. The Lings go down. And we can see COD is actually working towards Broodlords. Interesting. Okay, I mean, COD does have a bank to work with, and he's taking, or he's double expanding, getting a 6th and a 7th base. The gold is unfortunately going to be cancelled, but outside of that, does at least get another hatchery up and running. Cyclones do back off. I appreciate that, like, we're still heavily committed to Mass Cyclone. Like, we got a couple of tanks trickled in here and there. Homeowner, so he hasn't scanned, he hasn't seen the transition here. He doesn't know that Broodlords are soon to be on the way. And without knowing, he doesn't know he has to be, or he should be transitioning into Thor. I say that, but with this amount of Cyclones, with 34 Cyclones, can we get on top of the Broodlords? Is that possible? The scan does reveal them. Broodlords have been revealed. We dive on top of the 5th base. Workers are going down the base as well. But here come the brood. Here come the broods. Is this going to be enough? How many is that? 10 Broodlords. Oh my god. 10 Broodlords out for cut. He just lost 20 workers. Wants to try to keep up with this army, but the Broodlords are so slow. And here we go. We force a siege. We're forced to engage. So far, the Broodlords, they stand strong. They take down a tank, a Cyclone. A 2nd tank as well. Good trades. Meanwhile, we haven't gone into Thors. Like, this is maybe an opportunity to transition, but no, we're sticking with Mass Cyclone. No, we get a Viper, and the reality is that these Broodlords are, I mean, they're slow. The Broodlords are so immobile, they can't keep up with the movement here, so COD, he may take down this planetary, but Homeowner doesn't care. He's just going to be ignoring the Broodlords, going for a big counterattack instead. Pushing towards the 4th base. The army crumbles here. We don't care about the lurkers or the hydras. We take down every single worker here. And Homeowner, he has gone away with his economy. Just all these bases up and running. 77 workers. Bases are going down. COD is all in. There's no turning back. Not anymore. Oh, as I say that, just take a moment. Up! The lurker. Getting a couple of those Cyclones. Homeowner trying to come in for a surround. He comes in from behind, from the front as well. We collapse on the army. And I didn't think that Cyclones would fare well against Broodlords, and yeah, they don't. I was like, this does not look good here for Homeowner. He loses half of his Cyclones already. Yeah, he just cannot engage. I would have preferred if he committed to the base trade. If he just kept pushing and made Thors back at home, but 0 Thors. Finally, we turn back around to continue with the base trade, but Homeowner, he's lost his advantage. Look at the trade. He lost 65 Cyclones in one fight. No shot. That's crazy. 66. 68. I mean, the fight has been lasting a while here, but that's crazy. Homeowner down to 21 Cyclones. Sub 150 supply. The Broodlords, they just keep on pushing. Of course, it wasn't just the Broodlords, but also the lurkers underneath the supports. Everything anti-ground. Whether it's Thors, whether it's Vikings. We can see here Homeowner just amassing his Cyclones in his main base. But they're trapped. They can't escape. They cannot get out. And I still don't think they can fight this. I still don't think these Cyclones can push on top of these Broodlords. Not with the lurkers underneath them. But the SCVs, they're going ham. Here we go. COD pushing into the last bastion of hope here for Homeowner. Sure, Homeowner, he's got some mining. He's got more Cyclones on the way. But Homeowner is supply blocked. think we go for the elimination. We can't even go for the elimination. There are lurkers back home as well to defend. God, despite being down in this game, despite being in a rough place up against what, over 11 CCs, didn't even matter. Nah, not before the might of the brood, Lord Bappy. Let's go. So we are breaking on in. The Broodlord is just choking Homono out. Across the map, he's going to try and push forward as well. He's going to take down another base. Kot is down to 2 bases. Barely any mining. Cyclones are caught out. So this is important. Kot doesn't have any mining. He is out of money here. What you see is what you get. Can Homono fight back here? Can he rebuild? Like Homono, he's got two bases, or 2.5. He's got half a base here. He's got center base and top right as well. He has an army of Cyclones. Could Homono not necessarily create an army to fight this, but could he create an army to actually break the natural base of Kot, kill these lurkers, and then kill every building? They're like, Homono, he has a win condition here. Again, he may not be able to deal with the Broodlords, but he doesn't have to, not right now. We're edging closer. Homono slowly pushing in. He's making 8 Cyclones at a time. Here we go. We see 2 tanks going down. 2 tanks still remain here for Homono. Up. Oh my god. Yeah, we take down every single lurker, and now we can go for the elimination. Every building is here. There is one hatchery out towards the bottom left, but outside of that, every building is going to be going down. And Kot, he has to protect his base. He has to come back home. And Kot, has he seen top right? He doesn't know. Doesn't know which bases have been taken. He can assume. As Homono, he busts into the main base. He's doing it. He's doing it, Papi, as we push on in. Hatcheries are going down, and a Greater Spire as well. And Kot is turning back around. He's going to be harassing with a couple of Broodlords. That's a lot of orbitals still up and running as well. Homono, he does see the base. Has his Elnaga. Kot is getting in position. But it looks like Homono's done it. It looks like, I mean, I say that. Homono is now going to be on 1 base economy. He's losing every single SCV here, but he has an army. He has a standing army. And I understand that it's difficult to push into lurkers and broodlords, but with how many Cyclones? With 44 Cyclones? 44 Cyclones. That's crazy. 44 Cyclones. We can totally push in. We can break this, right? Question mark?
Base is under attack.
Homono, he's a deep enjoyer. Technically, we don't have to force the issue. Scan reveals the base. We don't have to force any kind of fight here. And Homono, you can just focus on clearing up these Broodlords, rebuilding his economy, and maxing out. This is true. But even if Homono didn't do that, I still think he can push into this. I want to believe that 49 Cyclones can break this army, but I could be wrong. Here we go. Mass Cyclone army is pushing out, and this is it. Can Kot somehow overcome this army? Do you have some lock-ons and up? So far, the Broodlords, they do stand strong. Now we had 49, we're down to 48. Still making 5 Cyclones at a time. Gonna be landing some orbitals, taking some bases. These 2 Broodlords still alive. Homono really wants to make this Mass Cyclone work. And, I mean, it kind of is. Kind of. are pushing on forward. Oh, just trying to get in position, just with what little he has. Broodlord's still denying mining. Homeowner looking for a better angle of attack. Meanwhile, Kot has still just been resaturating his base. His lair is on the way. If Kot can get a Hydra Den back up and running, we can make some more lurkers, which would be ideal. Tanks are edging closer. It looks like they're trying to get within range of those lurkers. Up! Can we get a Broodlord? So far, we do not. Oh my god, Kot not losing anything. Maybe I wouldn't even be opposed to making like some queens for like some transfuse, but oh, we are overextending a little bit. Kot getting very adventurous, and there it is, finally! 3 starports. It looks like after that trade, which again, Kot didn't lose a single unit. After that trade, Homeowner, he's like, okay, like the mono battle of Cyclone, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna be easy. I'll make a couple of Vikings. And the reality is that like 1 Viking is all it's gonna take. We do have some Hydras, but like a handful of Vikings here should clean this up. Very limited anti-air. There's very little that can really be done in this situation. 2 Broodlords finally go down. Another CC is being taken. Homeowner now is on a 2-base economy. And Kot's just, yeah, stuck here in the corner of the map. We have a Hydra Den on the way. It's in production. Here come the Vikings. We don't even need that many of them. And this was a wild ride. This was a wild game, Papi. Wild game. Don't like this. They're coming back home. They're just getting topped up. They're getting repaired. Lunker Den is on the way. You love to see it. To squeeze out as many lurkers as we can. Kot does have a bank. He just doesn't have any larva. So without larva, unfortunately, he has very limited production capabilities. And he doesn't know that. I mean, he has a changeling with the army, but he hasn't seen the Vikings. Doesn't know that Vikings are amassing in the top right-hand corner of the map. Scan reveals Hydra Den and the Lurker Den as well. Another hatchery on the way. But this is still an uphill battle for Kots. Like, there were moments in this game when Kots was leading and was even winning. Especially when he was pushing into the main base, but alas, the Broodlord army is too slow. We couldn't get to the top right. We couldn't get on top of the new production here of Homeono. We could not shut this down, and as a result, Homeono is going to be running away with this. There's just no answer to the Vikings. We have some Hydras, but the Hydras are being morphed into Lurkers. Basically, Kot believes that Homeono is still just very persistent about making mass Cyclone. So I don't blame him for blindly going into more Lurkers, but the reality is that this is just less anti-air. Less anti-air for Kots. Looking at the units tab, we have 4 Hydras. 4 Hydras is not going to be good enough. And here we go. Homeono essentially maxed out, coming in with 45 Cyclones, 21 Vikings. We scan, we see a little bit of anti-air. But for the most part, Homeono, he should be able to collapse on this. He should be able to move without too much issue. And there it is. The lock-ons are real. Lurkers, they go down. Vikings, they zone everything else away. And it looks like Homeono has finally done it. He's finally broken through. Takes down the base, takes down the Lurkers, and there's just not much of an army left. GG. Well played gets called, and Homeono will take game number 1. Oh, GG. GG, well played. Oh, it was hold on. just trying to... GG well play gets called, and Homeowner will take the first game. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the color here. Just trying to find the correct color. Beautiful. There we go. As that was only game one. That was merely game one. We still got plenty more to come. I don't know if I'm ready for it. Don't know if my body is ready. But here we go. Game 2 is going to be on Oceanborn. Oof. Yeah, that was crazy. Here we go. Oh, they switched places. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner, there we go, just fixing things up. In the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan. Oh. Representing, as I quickly try to fix up our colors here, representing Team Hyper 1, it is Hon Mono. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Pink Zerg player representing Team Gosu. It is Cut. Ooh, going for a gas first. Let's go. Let us go. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the color code here for purple. There, that's better. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out the color code. So we do have a gas first. It's going to be gas into pool. This is most likely for a roach rush, so a very aggressive build here from CODS, looking to try and end things a little bit earlier instead. This could just be for a Bane bus as well, but Bane busts are quite uncommon in this matchup. They're not very popular at all, not as much as they used to be. So I'm curious as to what kind of tech we're going to be throwing down here for CODS. Just catching up with the chat. Also, big shout out to Sephiron. Sephiron did give us a raid earlier. As we are going to be getting into this. There we go. Link speed is on the way. We haven't pulled out a gas. That is a big tell that Kot is intentionally going to be banking up his gas for a reason. And there it is. We were talking about it. The roach rush is upon us. Kot is still on 16 drones. He has not actually saturated his main, hasn't started droning up his natural, is looking to go all in. Not just with roaches, but with speedlings to reinforce. Now it's going to be on Homeowner to figure out what exactly is going on back at home. We do have a Rax expand into a factory. We saw Homeowner just be hyper greedy in that last game. So we'll see if Cole can punish him. We'll see if Homeowner is going to once again go into a third and then a fourth CC. Remember, to wide throw back, Homeowner, like on in the early game, he went up to like 6 CCs while he was taking a third. It was crazy. Like, just the amount of expansions that Homeowner had, it was wild. Regardless, here we go. There it is. We have the third TC in the main base, so it's going to be an economic opener out of our Terran player. Reaper dives into the main. Queen is in position. Reaper goes down. Link speed has been revealed, but we have not spotted that Roach Warren, as Kot has not made a single drone this entire game. 16 workers, that is all he has to work with. Like, he's droned up only 16, he hasn't droned up any further, and now we're sending it. Everything across the map. The Lings, the Roaches, the everything. And what do we have at home to defend? We have 2 Cyclones. We're about to have 2 Cyclones and a Marine. A second Marine is on the way. Lings are going to be able to take control of the natural base. 1 SCV goes down, and here come the Ravagers. the Ravagers, they're going to be knocking down the wall, and then the Lings, they get on top of the Cyclones. That will be the plan. It's going to be our approach here, and yeah, just there's nothing. If we had a couple of Hellions, that could maybe change things. With Cyclones are less than ideal. There we go. The depot will fall. Boys are being pulled, but the Lings, they get on top of them. Other Biles. Oh my god, it looks like with this boy pool we can maybe hold on, but 12 SCVs have gone down. We still need to get more damage done though. The Cyclones, they will clean this up. If it wasn't for this SCVs, the Cyclones would have fallen. We're down to 11 workers, but we have a 4th CC on the way. We have a natural, a 3rd, and a 4th. So greedy. This feels illegal. This feels disgusting. Oh my god. Homeowner getting away with so much, and now COD is droning back at home. Ah. Now, the All-In did do a lot of economic damage. We killed 11 SCVs, right? Again, Homeowner, he's down to 16 workers. The downside is that in the aftermath of the All-In, Homeowner, he's on 4 CCs. He's on 4 bases, 4 orbitals. So he can recover quite quickly. He was able to keep his Cyclones alive, which means he can counterattack, and that's a lot of Cyclones. That's 4, soon to be 6 Cyclones out on the map. COD is going to be in some trouble. He is going to be in some trouble here as the Cyclones are pushing on the right-hand side. Lings coming first around. They get at least the Marines. Marines will fall. We get the Queen as well, and can we hold on to this base? We have Ling reinforcements on the way. COD, he needs to hold on to the 3rd base, but I don't know if he can. It doesn't look like it. This hatchery has been taking a lot of hits. It does finish, which means it's going to be a kill, not a cancel. The Lings are falling one after the other. The Cyclones are barely holding on. There's 2 of them left. They get the Queen. And it looks like COTS will barely clean this up. He holds onto his 3rd base. Lost the Queen, lost a lot of Lings, but does hold. That was 33 Lings. 2 Queens for 4 Cyclones. The value there was insane. And back at home, that is not, or that is a form of mech, that is not Mass Cyclone. This time, Starports. Starports with Tech Labs. This is either going to be Banshee play or BCs. Now, there is no Fusion Core, so Mass Banshee seems to be what is coming up next. We have a 5th CC and a 6th CC on the way. Oh, God. Aye. Just doubling down here on just mass bases. There it is. We're getting Hyperflight Rotors. We should be getting Cloak as well. Making 2 Banshees at a time. Meanwhile, I love this from COT. We've taken a lot of damage. We're just going for another all-in. We're up to 35 workers, and we're not going to join up any more than this. Just making mass Ling Ravager. It's all or nothing for COT. All or nothing. And here we go. We're going for the surround. Up. Okay, the Lings, they do manage to get on top of the Cyclones. Cyclones will be falling. Banshees are now coming up, but before the Banshees can do anything, these SCVs will go down. We will be crippling the economy. We're heading towards the natural waste as well. We're trying to wall off. Good target firing here on the Ravagers. And 1, 2, 3 Ravagers are going to be falling. The Lings, they need to bust in. We need to break through. We need to get into the economy, into the mineral line. Up. The wall is not a wall. The Sim City is not good enough. And we do get on top of these SCVs. So many workers are going to be going down. And there's nothing to deal with these Banshees, and we're going to enter a really weird game state where Homemono is going to have a lot of orbitals still remaining, and Kots doesn't have the best economy, but he's still getting so much damage done. That's 35 SCVs going down. We didn't even have a lair. Lair just now on the way. So we have crippled the economy. It's not going to take long to rebuild just because of how many bases we have. that's the reality of the situation. And the Banshee is going for a counterattack. And how many queens do we have? We have 4. 4 queens available. Cloak is not done, by the way. But the queens, they're going to be going down. We can even get the base. No, the third falls. Caught knocked down to 2 bases. And Homono, he is muling so hard. So even though he lost so many SCVs, I would say he's still either even or ahead in the economy. I think I want to say ahead. Especially because COD is long distance mining. So Homono has a better economy. Doesn't have much of an army though. The Lings, they come back in, they're getting more SCVs. They're getting more workers. 5, 6 SCVs go down. We're making Vikings, right? Vikings are on the way. We're just going to be mass scanning here, and we do get eyes on the Spire. Spire has been spotted. Here we go. We just dive right past the army into the main base. They're going to be camping the tech here as well. Oh my god, the Spire, no, it's exposed. It's going to be going down. Spire will be falling. And I mean, we're still getting into Vikings behind this. It's mass Sky Terran, essentially. Mass Banshee and Viking from Homono. And potentially for the second time, I'm going to be going straight for this hatchery. Queens are here to transfuse. They can keep up. They do zone these Banshees away. Caught once again getting ready for a counterattack. But we have a planetary. We have a planetary back home. As we're even going to be muling here just to keep everything topped up, keep everything alive. Yeah, these Banshees, sorry, these Queens, even they cannot keep up. GG is going to get called. The Vikings land, and Honmono will take the series 2-0. Will take down COT, advance on to the upper bracket finals. GG. GG, well played. Oh my god, that was wild. That was very Honmono. That was a very Honmono series that we saw. Again, Honmono, he's a very unique player, very at times in a way cheesy and aggressive, and does end up taking it 2-0, making it here to the upper bracket finals. And a big shout out to COD as well. COD almost took game 1. Game 2 was a little bit more brutal, just because COD was so all in himself, so he never really had the best economy. Game 1 was more back and forth, and honestly, there were moments where COT was winning and COT was ahead. So game 1 was a lot more closer. Game 2, less so. Game 2 was a lot more one-sided towards the end there. But regardless, GG, well played. Homono will take it. And with that, we have our upper bracket finals. Now, when it comes to this event, and when it comes to players that can keep up with Homono, I would have said that we would have had two big names. That's going to be Demi and Gogo Joey. I mentioned before, Demi did forfeit, unfortunately. Demi had internet issues, and he did forfeit in the end, which means Homono can breathe a sigh of relief. Homono can breathe a sigh of relief, but up next we have our next series here. It's going to be Homono versus Gogo Joey. Gogo Joey, of course, being the best Zerg player in Hong Kong. Of course, Court's also being a countryman of Gogo Joey, but Joey is typically one step above. We have seen both Gogo Joey and Homono go toe-to-toe in the past, so I'm excited. I am excited. I'm ready for this. Let's go. So just trying to set some things up here. Just getting the teams ready, and we are hopping over to the Korean server. Let's go. And we are going to be going on a short break as well. Currently, Homeowner and Gogo Joey, they are going to be conducting their vetoes. Again, have been looking forward to this. And as much fun as Homeowner has been having, you know, going like Mass Cyclone in Game 1 and going Mass Banshee in Game 2, this is something that I do not think he's going to be able to pull off against Gogo Joey. I expect to be seeing some more bio-heavy play or some more standard mech play as well. We'll see. We'll see how he's able to compare. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we're going to be live with Homeowner versus Gogo Joey. See you soon. welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We are back here with the upper bracket finals. Predictions will soon be open in the chat to place your bets on how you think the series will go. Boy, as both players are soon to face off against each other, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. Oh, as we're setting an SCV across the map, we have the Blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong, representing the Juggernauts. It is Gogo Joey. And again, if you're in the chat, predictions, I believe, should be open for this series as the SCV has arrived and we are going for a proxy max. Are we going to be floating into the pocket base? Mate. I not like this. As yeah, this is looking like a float into the main. Hold on, let me just quickly sort out the colors as well, the color palette even. There we go. Bam. Beautiful. As the UI has been sorted out, and we do have 2 Raxes on the way. We have a 3rd Rax as well. And okay, so there's a couple things going on right now. No gases. No gases have been taken. So this is Mass Marine. This is not going to be interesting. Okay, this is not going to be Reaper's Mass Marine, so we are floating every single one of these Raxes slowly into the main base here of Gogo Joey, or into the pocket base of Gogo Joey. Meanwhile, our Zerg player is going for a hatch gas pool standard opener. He isn't cutting gas like other Zerg players would, so he's not being too greedy. He's respecting his opponents. And again, because there are no gases, this is not Marauders or Reapers. We are just amassing nothing but Marines. Marines are on the way. Addictions. And one by one, the 4 axes upon us now. Because it's 4 axes, this is all in. This is completely all in out of Hon Mono. Very committed here from our Terran player, and so far unscattered. So far, Gogo Joey has no idea what is going on, as Marines are coming from inside the house. Oh, Gogo Joey is going for a fast 3rd base. Does have queens on the way, does have a couple of lings as well, but this is devastating as Marines are amassing here, and this is going to hit like a truck. And so far, Gogo Joey, there's no reaction because he doesn't know what's happening, doesn't know what's going on, and this is going to catch him completely off guard. Again, in a head-to-head fight, I want to favor Gogo Joey, or like in a head-to-head, in a standard game even. But here, Hon Mono is the cheesiest player in all of Korea, and yeah, this checks out. This does check out as Marines are diving into that natural base. They do get an Overlord. Drones are going down as well. Lings are across the map, but there's nothing back at home to defend, and Gogo Joey was caught completely exposed with his pants down. Overlords are falling, and Hon Mono busts into the main base. Boys have to be pulled. But against a 4-axe, this is already so much damage. Try to get us around. We're trying to collapse on this army. Oh my god, but Gogo Joey's bleeding out so much. Down to 14 drones, loses a queen. And the Marines, they will not stop. Across the map, Lings did make it into the main base. Oh my god, forcing the boys to be pulled as well. Gogo Joey getting some damage done here. But back at home, as long as the starter stepping is good enough, and it's more than good enough, we're going to be able to just take control of the main base. GG gets called, and Hon Mono will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. We'll take game 1. We'll take a lead in this series, and this is what I wanted out of Radisson Station. There's potential. There's a lot of potential for cheese on Radisson Station, and Hon Mono, with something very, very out of left field, goes for the proxy Raxes. And we'll see how he approaches game number 2 here. As, again, Radisson Station is a very unique map. With a pocket base, you have the potential to proxy within it. But I expect things to be a little bit different here as we load in to Site Delta. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of side delta, we have our South Korean Terran living in the land of Japan, leading the series 1-0. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the top left, we have as opponent, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong, looking to fight back, looking to tie up this series 1-1. It is Gogo Joey. Now, when it comes to the last game in the Proxy 4-Ax, I mean, I don't blame Gogo Joey for going down for it. Honestly, it's almost nigh on impossible to defend that if it goes unscattered. Based on the build that Gogo Joey had gone for, the hatch gas pool into a third, based on just, again, the lack of scatting, the lack of awareness, replace Gogo Joey with any other Zerg, you know, Raynor, Serral, Dark, it's like, what can you do? It's just a numbers game at that point, so yeah, just a really unfortunate setup there from Gogo Joey. Just really unfortunate that he didn't have the foresight to check his pocket base as well, or check in that direction. And yeah, as a result, Homeowner, he takes a very cheeky game 1. And as we settle into game 2, once again, hatch gas pool out of Gogo Joey, and this time a standard opener out of Homeowner. Here we go. We have our standard opener here, and yeah, with this it should be a Rax expand, leading into maybe even mech from here. What's important is that in this matchup, Homeowner, he's not afraid to play bio and play pretty straight up as well. On a map like Side Delta, I would actually prefer that. I wouldn't be opposed to even A-Raxing on a map like this, but we'll see. As Homeowner, this is the Homeowner that we know and love. Going for a Rax expand on the high ground. This is a very common opener from Homeowner. Just designed to hard counter a pool first, to make sure that the CC gets up and running, make sure that we are safe and sound here on the high ground. Against a lot of the C-Zerg players, it's a very wise choice as well, specifically against Mio Micah. This is almost like a hard counter against Mio, because Mio is so fond of going pool first in this matchup. So Homeowner is just playing very safe. First Reaper gets across the map and is going to be threatening a drone. Doesn't quite get one. He is going to be backing out from here. Working away at those Reapers, at those drones, at those Lings. Behind this, we do have a third CC before Starport. But even before the factory is done, so quite a greedy build here from Homeowner. This can still lead into Buy-In. But we'll see if we get an add-on swap, and we will, to get into initial Hellion or even Cyclone production. Reaper chipping away at that army. Meanwhile, a big shout out in that chat. Oh my god. A shout out to Advanced War's Best. I wanted to say War Beast. My brain wanted to say War Beast or even War Chest. But thanks so much, Advanced War's Best, for the sub. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. All the love, all the support, all the money that we make here on the channel goes towards our tournaments like this one, like the Grand Platypus Open, to support some of the smaller regions out there in StarCraft. And here it is. We do have a second rack, so it is going to be a 3cc 2-1-1. Okay, a very biocentric opener here. He's starting off with some Cyclones, but don't let that fool you, as again, we have additional Raxes on the way. As for now, we do have, we are just getting into our 2-on-1 setup, or 3cc 2-on-1 setup. Cyclones are moving out. And they're just going to be threading the bases here. Gogo Joey is going for a roach heavy composition. Again, he's quite fond of roaches. Actually going to be cutting workers quite early on here. Only joining up to 40. Uh-oh. And they're going to be joining up to 40 at this point. Additional roaches on the way. And Gogo Joey is basically going for an all-in at this point. Boys are being pulled back at home. What do we have at home to defend? Not much, to be honest. And here we go. We collapse on the Cyclones. We get a full surround. The Cyclones will go down. And Gogo is just going to be sending everything across the map. Now, he is joining behind this. We've got 6 workers on the way. We have a lair on the way as well. Gogo, he's working on that next step, but for now, he's looking to take control of the natural. Stim is halfway done. No bunker, by the way. The bunker still halfway done as well. Take down a couple of Marines. We're waiting for the Ravagers to rock up. Oh, the Biles. Oof. Taking down a Marine. The bunker, it still will not finish. As they're trying desperately to finish it up, to get it up and running, but alas, it will not occur. We do get 20 SCVs here on the low ground. Marines are falling left and right. Marauders as well. And Gogo Joey is looking to fight back in this series. Can we deny Stim? Up the Biles. Oh my god, it's so close. Stim will not be denied. Cyclones are barely holding on as well. The Biles once again. They try to focus it down. It's so close, 10 seconds away, and Stim, it looks like it will finish. That's great and all, but despite that, I mean, we still have Lings coming in. The economy in shambles here for Honmono. Unlike some of these previous games, he doesn't have 5 CCs to fall back on, only 3. And Gogo Joey is going to pull back. Now, as he pulls back, again, we're at a pretty solid worker count. Lair is done. Roach Speed is on the way. 1-1 as well. Gogo Joey has crippled Honmono. Hasn't killed him. There is potential, especially with drop play. We have 1 medevac out. Stim is done. Combat Shields is on the way. We are going for a drop. We're going for a Cyclone drop, actually. Looking to pick off Overlords. Maybe a Queen. Maybe, I mean, whatever we can get. There we go. Drop is moving out. We get 1 Overlord. Not a bad pickup. You know, Overlord for free, essentially. 3rd base now being taken. Additional E-base on the way. Changeling does at least confirm the fact that we're still working on additional production buildings. It is going to be bio. No kind of weird transition into like mech or into BCs. Lings have arrived once again, getting another SCV, looking to force a 3rd base to lift. And it looks like Gogo Joey, he's going to be content here at 68 workers. 3 base saturation, essentially. Doubling down on Roach Ravagers, pushing in once again, and what is it to defend? No tanks, no Widow Mines, no kind of siege unit here to help hold on. The tank just now comes out. Will we have to pull the boys again? For a 2nd time. 11 more SCVs. Here we go. It's all or nothing for Honmono. He goes for a triple drop. Does get spotted by this Ling. Another Marine goes down. Now, there is a tank on the high ground here, so that tank is going to pose quite a threat, but despite that, we ignore it. We just keep pushing anyway. You have us around. Up. And Cyclones are finally going down as well. They've gotten so much value over the course of this game. But we get 14 SCVs. GG's going to get called. We've run out of steam, and Gogo Joey is going to take game number 2, tying things up 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. We are getting into the ace match. We're going the distance, and this is why I was getting excited for this. Again, even though Honmono was looking dominant in the previous series and having his way with Kurt, especially in game 2, we can see here that Gogo Joey can keep up with him, can punish him, and can even take a series here. We'll see if we can go all the way, because game 3 is going to be on Alcyone. Here we go. Here we you go, it all ends here on one of the larger maps in the map pool. Now, there is a lot of potential for cheese as well over on the right-hand side of the map, especially on the other side of the mineral patches. We also have gold bases that can be taken advantage of as well. I'm curious to see how our Terran player approaches this. Here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alcyone. We have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. His new team, he's only been there for a month at this point, maybe even less than that. It is Honmono. I have to fix up his colors. Okay, beautiful. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player from the... Oh, let's go! We have the blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong, representing the Juggernauts. It is Go-Go Joey. As we are going for a proxy 2-Rax. Now this time we have gases. This time it's going to be proxy 2-Rax Reaper, not Marine. And because it's only 2 Raxes, this is not the most committed proxy. You can transition out of this, you can macro behind this. So not all in, just an aggressive open. Very aggressive here from Honmono. Meanwhile, Go-Go Joey going for a gas first. Uh-oh. This doesn't bode well for our Terran player. We have a gas pool opener here from Go-Go Joey into a natural base. So he is delaying his expansion, delaying his economy in favor of tech and an army instead. This leads into faster link speed. For now, these Reapers are going to... Oh my god, we're going up to 3! Jesus. We are taking a second gas and we're going up to 3 Raxes here. And we're going to be having... there's a window. There's a bit of a window available where Honmono, he's going to have map control. He's going to be able to maybe get a couple of worker kills and abuse this queen. But link speed is going to be quite fast. And once link speed kicks in, then Honmono is going to be forced out and is going to have a hard time defending in general against them. So far, Overlord comes in, confirms the lack of CC on the low ground, which is normal because Honmono usually expands on the high ground. Reapers do reveal themselves. They get into the main base. Queen is in position. Oh god, but the Lings... Yeah, they're finding some of those SCVs. This Queen taking so much damage already. Roach Warren is on the way. So far, a good reaction out of Go-Go Joey. Roaches is what you want to be going for to punish this. But that Queen taking a lot of hits. Oh no! The Queen! Queen is barely going to survive. But most likely not for too much longer. Another Queen does pop out though. Just the time to force back the army. Link speed soon to be on the way, but we don't have that many Lings. Oh my god. We are still lacking those Lings. Roach Warren has now finished up. One Queen goes down, but link speed! We get us around! Ooh. We attempt to get us around, but every single Reaper escapes. Not a single one goes down. So far, good control out of Honmono, averting disaster. Does have to respect these Lings. Another Queen! Queen comes out, Roaches soon after, and Go-Go Joey will hold. And once we build up a large enough Roach Ravager army, we're going for a counterattack. And Honmono, he's still on one base. He's still only on one base. Honmono, he's got 9 SCVs. He barely has an economy. Barely has an economy to speak of. One Reaper went down. A second Reaper goes down as well. Good pickoffs here from Go-Go Joey. So we are attempting to dive on this, but we don't quite manage to be able to do it. The Lings, they will escape. And this army from Go-Go Joey is getting more and more terrifying. Honmono just doesn't have anything behind this. It's only Reaper. There's no CC. The boys are trying to hide against the Lings. The Lings, they come in and there's nothing to kill. But they're checking. They find the SCVs. They're going for them. Not like this. They get one worker. They force so much lost mining time. That is now 8 SCVs remaining here for Honmono. The Raxes, they float over the wall here to a safer location. So they're safe against the Lings at least. Meanwhile, Gogojo, he doesn't care. Not anymore. He gets across now with his Roaches and Ravagers. He has to be very careful with his Lings. He doesn't want to overextend. How many Reapers do we have? We have 10 Reapers. 10 Reapers at this point. So far, the Roaches are being kept alive, morphing into Ravagers. Both more Lings in production. Gogojo being very careful with how he engages. Doesn't want to throw anything away. Additional Reapers are rallying across the map. We're getting on top of the production. No. The wall has been mined out, and yeah, the production has to be lifted. Wise move here from Gogojo. He's checking the gold, making sure that no ninja bases have been taken. Does confirm. You see Homeowner just rotating over towards the natural as well. But this time the surround is real. This time he has to commit. There's no turning back. Oh my god, and so many of these Reapers are going down. Oh, that was 4 Reapers falling. And the Lings, they're waiting here on the low ground as well. They catch another Reaper. And yeah, Homeowner just doesn't have much left. It's a sad reality here. Back at home, he's trying to get a CC, he's trying to get a factory as well. He has been making SCVs. But Gogojo is getting out of control. Yeah, as the Reapers are going down one after the other. Only 2 Reapers left, down to 1 Reaper remaining. It barely escapes. And now Homeowner, he's just locked into his one base. This is his army, 1 Reaper. GG gets called, and he asks Gogojo to wait in the finals for him, as Gogojo will advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Gogojo for taking the series and advancing on, and Homeowner gets knocked down to the lower bracket. He does get knocked down, and with that, with that, we have our next series here. Exclamation mark B. Be in the chat if you guys want to have a look. Be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves to try to catch our next series here. We have a couple of updates coming in. And let us switch our scenes over to have a look ourselves. Okay, so Gogojo, of course, he advances on to the grand finals. We have Honmono being knocked down to face off against his next opponent. It's going to be a rematch, Honmono versus Kot. Oh my. It is a rematch, and I'm hoping that Kot now is a little bit more familiar with Honmono, and will be able to have a better showing against him, I should say. A stronger showing. When it comes to the game that we just saw, when it comes to the specific builds as well, it was just really unfortunate that that Honmono happened to be going for a proxy 3 racks against a gas first. That is just really unfortunate matchup when it comes to the builds, because of Gogojo's gas first, fast-link speed, fast roaches, just completely shutting down the Reapers. There was a window where the Reapers had to get damage done. They killed 1 queen, only 1 queen. They didn't kill any workers, they didn't kill any drones. It was not good enough, and Honmono, he was behind from that moment. And now we are going to be getting ready for our next series. Going to be going on a short break. When we return, we'll have the lower bracket finals. See you soon.
And again, for those wondering who may be tuning in for the first time and aren't too familiar with these players, Shelby, he is a pretty good Peruvian player. He's a streamer as well. He's streaming his POV.
Dios mío, Dios mío, Dios mío. Men, ¿qué me quiere pushar con 4 Belin, 3 mutas? ¡Corre, Forest! No lo dejen ir. ¡Ah! ¡No! ¡Oh! ¡Te pasaste de ver!
But he also looks after the convenience store when his parents aren't around. So he's currently competing, playing, and also looking after the store, and he needs to pause whenever there's a customer.
What I want to know is how far does he have to go? You know, like, is it like downstairs,
So,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I think it's a flight of stairs. He has to get down a flight of stairs.
you're like a customer. You're like in the, waiting. You know, ding, and then you're. He's like, he's like straight up running down.
every now and then, it's like you hear him fall.
Waiting for him to like trip and fall. But I agree. He needs to like set up a camera like at the counter.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, just like. And then he runs back. Does he like wait for the customer to leave, or is like after he does the money exchange, he just books it up?
For those wondering, I did wake up like 20 minutes before the broadcast, and then took 10 minutes to set up the stream, and then just went and I quickly grabbed some water to wake up.
Do I need to like Uber Eats you some breakfast?
Oh no, because then I would have to leave the cast and get the food.
Your door's not that far, right? Like, listen,
Yaku?
if Shelby can go attend his goddamn store while he plays the tournament, you can probably go pick up some food at your front door, while you're casting. It's totally fine, dude.
Oh god, fucking Shelby, man. I love him so much. I wish he was here. Die as well.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that duct tape. I apologize for cutting it short, but we have our next series. We have our lower bracket finals, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Teal Terran player representing Team Hyper 1. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the top left, but also about to be proxied, we have his opponent. We have the pink Zerg player representing Team Gosu from the land of Hong Kong. It is Cut. Boy, here we go. The proxies are upon us. We have a second SCV moving out and a third SCV as well. So it's going to be at least a proxy 3 racks out of Hon Mono. Cut going for a hatch first, which is fine. Going for a hatch first. The Overlord actually may even see the... no, will not see the SCV. Does bypass the Overlords. We have 2 racks. We're about to have a third. Also, no gases are being taken. So this is proxy Marine. Marines are on the way with this. We could even throw down a 4th racks once the first one finishes for a proxy 4 racks. So just a very aggressive, very committed build here from Hon Mono. Very all in, I should say. And Kotz is none the wiser, going for a hatch gas pool. As long as he's able to catch wind of this, he should be okay. But the pathing of this Overlord is, yeah, going to be a little bit late. It's going to take a little bit longer to actually get any kind of scouting here. Show us the 4th racks. Should we stay on 3? We could even stay on 3 and just go for bunkers here in front of the army. And here we go. We're just going for it. Oh my god, already! We're not waiting any longer. SCVs have been revealed. Marine moves out. And bunkers should be upon us. There it is. Bunkers on the low ground. Immediately, Kotti does pull back. He does evacuate his natural. And should be working on roaches. Oh god, he's pulling the boys! No! He thinks it's the 2 racks! Oh boy. Yeah, as SCVs have to be pulled back. We do get a surround on the bunker, but the third SCV now reveals itself. Spine crawler's on the way. Cog gonna try to hold on to his natural. Gonna try and shut down these bunkers before they can finish. So far, just zoning away those Marines. Drones are going down. One is the first bunker finishes. Ay, 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 this is brutal. The bunker is done. We're within range of the spine crawler. Spine crawler is not long for this world. It's gonna be cancelled. Not like this. Both bunkers do finish, and again, upon pulling these workers, it did look like thought it was a 2-Rax. I mean, only 2 SCVs had revealed themselves. But now with the third SCV, ay, ay, ay. Yeah, as this base is going to go down. Behind this, we have a Roach Ward on the way and a second Gas Geyser. The problem here is that this transition we needed a little bit sooner, and we already lost a lot of Lings, a Queen, and a Drone. These are losses that we didn't need to sustain. And back at home, because Homono was able to deal enough damage, because he gets a kill on the natural, he can expand back at home, and he can run back home as well. Takes down an Overlord. From here, Homono is in a good position, and he can macro. Even he's double expanding, getting a natural and a third CC as well. Is looking to double expand. Meanwhile, Cody is going straight for a lair. This is looking like maybe a Nidus all in. There it is. There is that Nidus Worm on the way. So it's all or nothing here for Cuts. Oh, the Rax is floating in. Not like this in Homeowner. He will get eyes on the Nidus. He knows, he's aware of what's going on. And yep, there we go. Deepers are on the way at the edge of his base, making sure that a Nidus Worm is not able to get in. Roaches, Queens are on the way. We do have an Overlord across the map for a Nidus into the natural. Not into the main though. There it is. Nidus thrown down, but Homeowner, he's already on top of it. He's gonna shut it down. Ooh. Not like this. As caught from here, I guess he's droning. He's gonna try and transition. He's gonna try to macro out of this. It's just gonna be so difficult to pull off. Rax will burn. And Homeowner is transitioning. From here, like it's gonna be a really rough road of recovery for Kot. He could go for a follow-up all-in. Like if he takes his natural base, and if Homeowner is too greedy, then we can maybe catch his opponent off, maybe catch the Terran off guard, especially with the Nidus Worm. But it's going to be an uphill battle. Meanwhile, big shout out to Baby Ling in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Welcome everyone to the lower bracket finals. We're almost done. We're almost at the end of the event, as the finals is the next series in the Grand Platypus Open. If you're curious, this is a regional weekly tournament for the regions of Oceania and the rest of Asia. And right now we have Japan against Hong Kong. For those curious. Scan reveals that the natural base is on the way. Again, if you missed out on the beginning of the game, it was Homeowner going for a proxy 3-Rax, and Kot did misinterpret the build. Did end up going for a rough reaction and ended up losing his base, losing some workers, a lot of Lings in the process, and finding himself behind. Baliness is on the way. Oh my. What do you have planned here, Kot? What are we thinking? Third base soon to be taken. It is going to be a of course, it's going to be a bio transition here from Homeowner. Stim, combat shields. Oh my god, the mass amount of bunkers here just to be safe. Just to be safe, just to be secure. And Cody's just droning. He's just droning. He's actually just trying to get it into the mid game if possible. Rushing right into Bailing speed, skipping Roach speed, interestingly enough. If you look at the upgrades as well, we actually got Concussive Shell before Stim, so Homeowner was very paranoid about a Roach counterattack. Scans are going to reveal the army, they're going to reveal the base timing as well. Homeowner, upon seeing the third, he knows his opponent is going to be more defensive, and he is moving out. Stim is done, Combat Shields as well. Sorry, Stim is done alongside Concussive Shell. No medevac, so every Stim is going to hurt, but he can afford to Stim once, maybe twice, to get on top of the army. And we're going in. And this hatchery is going to be cancelled. A big blow to the economy here for COD. At the same time, he's going for a big Ling counterattack. Do we have anything at home to defend? We have Marauders. Not the best unit against Lings, but Marauders are on the way nonetheless. SCVs are going down. 5 SCVs, not too bad. We could even force a cancel on the 4th CC. But the main army dives into the mineral line. Gets a couple of roaches, a couple of lings. But we'll be cleaned up. We have plenty of reinforcements. Homeowner will lose everything. Lings, they race back home across the map. We did force a cancel on that 5th CC because the 4th is done on location. Homeowner is still miles ahead economically. Looking very safe, very secure. Additional racks is being thrown down as well, and yeah, now we can just go for some drop play. Now we can stim a little bit more freely. This Homeowner is going to be dropping. At least COD is able to find some free mules here at the 4th base. But here comes the drop once again, and COD, he just cannot get a 3rd. The 3rd, it will not finish. Not anytime soon. Not like this. Oh, that's the Marauders. They just refuse to die. They get a no! They get eyes on the 4th base as well. At the same time, Lings are going for a counterattack. They get a couple of SCVs. They get some mules. Homeowner, he's just trading so efficiently with this army. Jumping into the main way, so we may not have gotten the 4th, but we will get, oh, not quite the swanning pool. But the juggling. Oh my, that was disgusting. That was actually disgusting. The Marauders, they barely do get to kill the spawning pool. They all escaped. Not a single Marauder died. Not a single Marauder. Those were 6 SCVs across the map. They live. Not for much longer though, as the Queens come in for an intercept. No, the Marauders, they make it out. And here comes the rest of the army. This is going to be the final push here of the game. GG gets called, and Honmono will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, for those that tuned in during the raid, that was off of the back of a proxy 3 racks, getting so much damage done in the early game, and giving Homeowner a solid lead coming in to the mid game. And now he's going to be up 1-0. It's a best of 3. COD does have a chance here to come back, to fight back on Hecate. Here we go. Now, as a reminder, the winner of this series moves on to the grand finals. In the upper bracket finals, there was a best of 3 between Honmono and Gogo Joey, and Gogo Joey did come out on top. He did take the series, is waiting in the grand finals as a result for the winner of this series here. This lower bracket finals. We can have a look at the bracket later. It's all good. It's all good. As we load into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Honmono. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the pink Zerg player representing Team Gosu from the land of Hong Kong. It is Cut. Cut? I'll stick with Cut. And this time the SCVs are staying back at home. This time the SCVs are back at home. We're building up our axes, just getting into our opener. Not going for a proxy, not this time, as Code is going for a hatch first. It is going to be a hatch gas pool opener here. It should be a hatch gas pool standard opener here from Cot. There we go, gas is being taken, and a spawning pool soon thereafter as well. Everything is looking by the book for now, which is important to take note of. Homeowner has been very cheesy and very aggressive today. A very wild player. We saw Homeowner go Mass Cyclone earlier today. We saw him go Mass Banshee as well into Mass Viking. It was disgusting. It was and Mass Expand even on 11 CCs. Crazy as Homeowner has been, again, looking pretty wild today. But what do we have here this time? As we have a rack expand. Again, everything is looking quite normal for the time being. I do think that Homeowner was humbled a little bit after his series against Go-Go Joey. It was a series that, I mean, leading into the series, Homeowner was on cloud 9 after his performances. But Go-Go Joey did knock him down a peg or two, and as a result, Homeowner, he may be looking to take this a little bit more seriously. There it is. We do have a second Rax on the way. It is a 2-on-1. At least it looks to be the beginnings of a 2-on-1. Reaper is moving out. Going to be checking the natural base, diving into the main as well, getting some scouting information, making sure that no additional gases have been taken, making sure that there is no roach warren, for example. We don't quite get the drone. Reaper up, getting one worker in the main base. Pretty good pickoff. Workers should not be falling as Cod is taking a third base. And just building up his queens, droning, cancelling that spore crawler, and for the most part we're stable. Outside of losing one drone, not the biggest of deals. Hopefully Homeowner doesn't get any more damage with this Reaper as he's going back in. Oh, and Cot is out of position. Uh-oh, he's going straight for the drone. He wants it. No! The drone is going to go down. That's 2 workers now for 1 Reaper. And he should not get another. This Reaper will finally go down. Back across the map, Homeowner is going for that 2-on-1 setup. 2 Raxes, 1 factory, 1 starport. This is a very aggressive build out of Homeowner. He is intentionally delaying his 3rd CC in favor of this strong stim timing with, of course, 2 medevacs. 16 Marines, 2 medevacs, stim, and a dream is what's going to be coming out for Homeowner. And we'll see if Cod can keep up. Looking at his vision, he saw the Marines, didn't see the production, but he can piece together that this is a 2-on-1 variation. Otherwise, he would have seen Hellions. So for the most part, Cod, he knows. And for now, he's droning. He's saturating his bases. All is looking right in the world. There's the Evo chamber on the way as well. We are pulling back into gas. And so far, these are the correct moves. Cod essentially is going to be responding with fast +1 carapace, which is ideal against this kind of opener here from Honmono. And the goal is to defend with Link Queen. Pure Link Queen here to defend against the first push. And hopefully not losing any of our economy, as Honmono is already moving out. Honmono is looking to push. Behind this, that is another Rax, by the way. Oh, another 2 Raxes. This is looking like a 2-base all-in. By this point, I already said that the 3rd CC was delayed, and we should see a 3rd now, but instead of a 3rd base, we double down here on 3 more Raxes, not even 2 more. So 5 in total. Whereas we do force a cancel on the 4th base. So far, pretty good damage here from Homono. Again, this is another sign that it's an all-in. Only one eBay. Only one upgrade at a time. Only +1 attack for now. As Homono threatens the dive up that ramp. Trades well with the Lings. Oh, 1 Lings going down. And 9 Lings for 2 Marines. And back at home, Homono, he's just building up his forces. Marines and tanks getting ready for his push. Kot, meanwhile, hasn't scouted. He is not fully aware if his opponent is expanding or not. He's in the dark, and he's droning, which is okay to drone up to around 53. But any more than that, and we're going to be in some trouble. Alien Nest is on the way. Lings a check for a 3rd base. Homeowner does arrive with reinforcements, and we are committed. Are committed to tanks. They are sieging up, pushing up the ramp here towards the bases of Cut. Cut is now aware. Now with this tank push, he knows what's going on. Lings are on the way. Bailey Nest is about to finish up. We don't have any Bailings yet. +1 carrot base is done. Cut is supply blocked. This feels a bit premature, but we're diving on the army. We go for the full surround. We get 1 tank. And we barely get the 2nd tank as well, but here come reinforcements. That was all the Lings, no Bailings. We can get on top of the Queens, and the Bio Army is getting out of control. Homeowner, he stims into the natural base. The army of Kot has been broken. He got the tanks, but he did not get the Marines. GG gets called, and Honmono will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Honmono as he does make it to the finals, looking for revenge, looking to redeem himself in those finals, as he does pull off the 2-base all-in. Again, it is very uncommon. I should have emphasized this as well. It is very uncommon to go for 2-base all-ins in this matchup. So, Kot, I think he was just taking that for granted. He was just assuming that a 3rd CC was on the way. Little did he know that there wasn't a 3rd CC. There wasn't a 3rd base. Homono doubled down onto a 2-base all-in. Snowballed out of control. GG, well played, and Homono does take it. My condolences. My condolences to Kot, but also a big shout out to Kot as well. This is his debut. You know, he isn't really a regular in our tournament, so it's great to see more of him. He's, of course, a GM on the American server. Is, of course, a little bit outscaled here by Honmono, but was a good effort, and I look forward to seeing more of Kot in the future. I do hope to see him continue to fight, to improve, to grow as a player as well. So, GG, well played. As that rematch is soon to be upon us. Of course, we're going to be going on a short break while we get ready for the finals. The finals is going to be a best of 5, bear that in mind, and predictions will soon be open. The other thing to remember as well, as you're about to see on screen, is that because Gogo Joey already won, because he already beat Homono in the upper brackets, and he's coming from the upper bracket, Gogo Joey is up 1-0. In this best of 5, Gogo Joey has a 1-point advantage already. So, bear that in mind when you go for your predictions. Again, I do think this is going to be a close one. I do think it's going to be back and forth. Regardless of who wins, it's not going to be a 3-0. It's going to be, again, a little bit more I want to believe that it's going to be more spicier than that. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be up to our players. For now, we're going to be going on a break. When we return, the finals. See you soon.
Should we go in Spanish this one?
Do it.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
All right, I don't know if I can do this. All right, let's try. Aquí en esta esquina de la mapa es un Terran player. Es rojo, es rojo. Y a la izquierda.
Ooh.
I don't know my directions perfectly, but I believe it's izquierda.
Yeah.
A la izquierda, este jugador es verde. y es un Terran y es el final map. Si puede ganar, yo creo. Es Boga.
¿Y juntos qué son?
Y juntos son los antimancos. We did it. We did it.
That was better than what I could have done.
It was better than what I expected.
En el sur, en el derecho, izquierda, derecho. Aquí en la mapa, en la esquina tenemos el azul Terran, tenemos Marea y su what's teammate? Su compadre, su amigo, su enamorada, no sé qué es, pero aquí tenemos el Protoss, es azul, es Derki y juntos son el equipo, los lamas.
Los llamas. How do you say llama in Spanish?
Llama, yeah, maybe.
Right? Just llama?
Yeah.
I don't know either. I completely skipped trying to go for north or south. That was going to be an impossible one for me.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for cutting the duct tape short, but we are here in the grand finals of Grand Platypus Open number 97. There have been 97 of these events of the Grand Platypus, and it's great to be back here. Once again, we've almost reached 100. We're going to reach 100 by the end of the year. It's going to be a momentous occasion. Until then, though, we have our finals, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkione, we have the South Korean Terran living in the land of the rising sun, living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent going for a gas first opener. It is the blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong, representing the Juggernauts. It is Gogo Joey. There's going to be a gas pool opener here. Gogo Joey, very aggressive build from our Zerg player. Back at home, Homono, none the wiser, going for a Rax in his main base. Let's go. As we get into our openers, and as Gogo Joey is about to pop off, going for the expansion on the low ground. If you want to support this tournament, the Grand Platypus Open, you can do so a couple of different ways. There is a Matcherino. There is a Matcherino page available if you do want to support this specific event. I should let them know. Predictions open. But yeah, there's a Matcherino page. There is also a Patreon as well. Our Patreon is designed to support not just this tournament, but all the tournaments that we host. Events like Grand Platypus Open, the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, and the Sparkling Tuna Cup as well. All of those are catered towards different regions, different time zones. We do our best to support, again, as many regions as we can. And, you know, through our Patreon, we're looking to have it community funded, at least completely, and then we can grow our tournament from there. You know, end up paying out top 4, have our tournaments be more consistent. Currently, our tournaments are every 2 weeks. We would love for them to be weeklies, but again, we will need your support to make that happen. So if you're interested, if you want to support GPO, then Patreon or Matcherino is the place to do it. Otherwise, we're here in the finals. And as we get into the finals, we see that Gogo Joy, he pulls out a gas. Interesting. Does pull out a gas. The Lings that were caught out in the center of the map. We can see Homono go for an expansion on the high ground, going straight for the 3rd CC. Very economic opener here out of Homono. And this should lead into bio play. Go. But now Gogo Joey is about to kick in with Link speed, and we have a mass amount of Lings moving out across the map, gaining map control and looking to deny the expansion, but the expansion's on the high ground, so these Lings aren't going to find too much damage. Gogo Joey has to focus on re-droning, focus on saturating his bases. The Lings arrive, but again, there's just not much they can do. They can at least contain and just delay the expansion, contain Homono to 1 base for as long as possible. I was going to say 2 bases because I'm so used to saying that. Oh, Reaper goes down. I'm so used to saying contain to 2 bases, but contain to 1 is just so foreign. But it's what's happening. And it is a 3cc 2-on-1. So it's a very similar build to what we just saw previously against Kot, except a more economic variation. It's a 3rd CC before the factory, before the starport. Well, not before the factory, but before the starport in the end. So the drop play is going to be delayed, and even though we may have delayed drop play, we have faster Cyclones. Cyclone is going to help just gaining map control, forcing back Gogo Joey, shutting down Overlords, and forcing back those Lings. Gogo Joey, he is going to be taking some additional gases back at home. We do have Roach Warren on the way. So, Ling Roach Ravager here from Gogo Joey. Do love to see it. Dear chat, no codes. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, we don't have any codes for our events. You do need the event to be of a specific size, or be partnered even to get codes available. So, yeah, not quite. Maybe one day. Again, you know, if we're able to grow our events, then maybe one day we can get codes for Maturino. Another goal for us. Another goal. As for now, Lings are going to be gaining map control, shutting down all these rocks, keeping an eye on things. Expansion has now been taken, and Stim is on the horizon. Meanwhile, Gogo Joey is cutting workers already. A little bit early here for Gogo Joey, but he's drawn up to 40. He's now squeezing out a couple of extra drones, but he's hyper fixated here on his push. Lings, Roaches, and Ravagers. Gogo Joey bringing the fight to Hon Mono. Also, I forgot to, there we go. Forgot to put that 1 point on Gogo Joey. He is leading the series. So far, a good start for Hon Mono. Forced to Stim though. Gogo Joey's going to back off. He's going to respect the army and drone. Yeah, pushing into this would have been quite difficult for Gogo Joey. Didn't want to overextend, didn't want to throw away his army. And now we're working on our upgrades. 1-1, gases. Joey now getting up to 3 base saturation and taking a 4th here on the right hand side. But as Gogo Joey backs off, this gives Hon Mono the freedom to be more aggressive, to be more active on the map. 2nd factory, 3rd CC now being landed on location, double drop coming out as well. We are getting to a more back and forth. There we go. This Marines, they do still want 4. They're going to be able to clean up a lot of this creep. They took down another Overlord. I don't think we can really threaten the main bases themselves, but so far Hon Mono is doing a great job of preserving his army, going for drop play, and containing or keeping the creep in check. As he takes his 3rd, is going to be pushing through the center. How many tanks do we have? We're up to 2 tanks. A decent amount of Marines. Stim is done. Combat shields. 1-1 still on the way. A little bit too early for those upgrades to really kick in. But we are clearing up a lot of creep. I do appreciate this from Gogo Joey. We do have an infestation, but this should be for infestors, or we could go straight into a hive. At the same time, the Lings, they come in, up, do not get into the main base. And they don't get much done at the natural either. They're going to get a couple of SCVs. Oh my god, but they force everything back home. Oh my god. A bit of an overreaction here from our Terran player. Did race everything back home, giving Gogo Joey a lot of time here to respread his creep. And here we go. We are committed. First Infestor's on the way. Now, with the new change to the Infestor, it does do less damage. Fungal growth, the damage is quite negligible. But once it pops, once the Infestor does come out, it will have enough energy for 1 fungal from the get-go. And here we go, we collapse on the army. The Vials. Vials will connect with at least one of those tanks. The other two, they stand strong. Finally, they go down, and it looks like Homono, he does not have enough to keep up with the Roach Ravager. He's forced back. The tank count was reset, and Gogo Joey, he can keep pushing. At the same time, though, Homono drops at the 4th. Reinforcements are on the way. Gogo Joey does not want to turn around. It's a risky move, but there's not much at home to defend. Gogo Joey, he can push into the natural. Instead, he goes for the 3rd CC. The Biles! Oh my god, they take down the workers. 14 SCVs go down. And we dive straight on the army as well. Do you have a tank? Gogo Joey has to back off. He has to respect it. Meanwhile, back at home, he did hold on to his 4th base. That's 17 SCVs. The Cyclones. Oh my god. And amidst all this chaos, a couple of Biles were able to connect with the army. Fungal comes in. The Fungals. And Gogo Joey snowballing out of control. He's already leading the series, and he's looking to extend that lead. Pushing into the 3rd once again. That tank putting in a lot of work in the back line. Gogo Joey's going to back off for a moment. But he knows he has momentum. Homono taking a massive risk here. He's leaving nothing at home. There's 2 tanks, and these tanks are so exposed. They're so naked. Risking it all here on a Doom drop. First tank goes down. 1 tank left. 1 Marauder. And do we have anything at home to defend? Do we care? Do we need it? We do need something at home. As we dive into the natural waste infestation bit goes down. At the same time, Gogo Joey pushing into that main. Oh my god, the move command! Up! As a bit of miscontrol here from Gogo Joey, he's going to be losing everything. A massive mistake. Finally, we do attack, but Gogo Joey, he lost most of his army. Oh my god, that should not have happened. The move command, that was like, what, 10? 20 seconds? And 20 seconds for move commanding is forever in StarCraft, and just like that, this drop gets a kill in the natural. 2-2 is still on the way. Reinforcements are coming out. Mono is still in this. He's got 3 CCs. Doesn't have a 4th, unfortunately. He's still down in workers, down in economy. But you can see here, 32 roaches, 4 ravagers. That was a big mistake there. That was a big misstep from Gogo Joey, and that's maybe the miracle that Homeowner needed. Aye. And it's still an uphill battle, don't get me wrong, but here we go, another Doom drop. We just be dropping, Bobby. Just be dropping. We do leave 3 tanks back at home, a couple of Marauders. Good Sim City. It's going to deter some of this army. The supply block is looking quite real here as more deepers are going down. At the same time, from the right-hand side, here comes Homono. It's a lot of Marauders. Yeah, he can clean up this army. The Roaches, they go down one after the other. Reinforcements are on the way. Meanwhile, across the map, we get a Rats, but not much else. 4th base goes down. We drop right into the main. And again, Homeowner, he may not have much, but he's still trading very efficiently. And with that, I mean, what's important is that this is also inflated supply from Gogo Joey. With Roach Ravager, it's not the most efficient army. We can see it's not the most mobile army either. He's knocked down to 3 bases, trying desperately to get a 4th base up and running, but Homono, he's headed in that direction. Rotating over towards that 4th. We even have the new medevac upgrade on the way as well from that fusion core. As Homeowner is looking to take a 4th base. Joey does get eyes on this. He does see, he does know. Good fungal! Up! Oh my god. Medevac does go down. Wasn't quite full. Did have a couple units within it. Joey is pushing, but Homeowner has a comparable army. Especially with all these tanks, with how Marauder heavy he is. Homeowner, he can take a fight. The Sub does lie, especially when Roach Ravager is involved. Here we go, we're diving onto the Infestors. One Infestor does go down. And Joey, he's only up 20 supply. The draw play continues. And I can't believe it. Homeowner, he's back in this game, 100%. He's back in this. Hive is on the way to eventually work towards 3-3. I would love to see a transition into maybe Hydra Lurker Viper. Good fungals. Chain fungals, we do get them. Oh my god. Taking down one full medevac. So we are pushing over on the right hand side as well. Looking to pull Joey apart. Joey, though, he is in position. Yeah, plenty of links this time. Forces back the army. And we're settling into this. Now, Joey, he has a really tough ask ahead of him, which is transitioning out of Roach Ravager. We have the melee upgrades on the way, plus 2 melee just now starting. We have Vipers in production, Bailing speed. Basically, he's trying to get out of Roach Ravager and into Ling Bane. But he's just so heavily invested here in this supply, and he is maxed. He is maxed at this point. He has 1,000 minerals in the bank. I'm sure he wants to just remax on Lings. And here we go, Homeowner pushing with a massive death ball of an army through the center. Baileys, they try to waddle in. Cannot quite connect. Yeah, pushing into this tank line is going to be nigh impossible without Vipers. Vipers are still gathering energy. Still on the way. And the tanks are slowly pushing forward. They are bunching up. It's not going to take too many Blinding Clouds to cover this. And there we go. We are now spreading out those tanks at the same time. Oh, that's going to be a kill, not a cancel on that hatchery. Joey trickling in a little bit too soon. Yeah, losing a little bit too much Ling Bane, and now we're going to be collapsing on this army. Here we go. The Vipers come in. We got one Blinding Cloud. Is that enough? Oh, it is not. Yeah, as Homeowner is snowballing out of control. He's going to be getting a kill on this base. A kill on these bases even, as Joey is completely cut off from the right-hand side of the map. Hatcheries are going down left and right, and Joey, he's just been outscaled in this game. The bio-tank army is just far too efficient. Oh, who is it? No! What? I'm here. Wait, am I? Well, I'm right here. No. Where? I even saw them type. Feels BattleNet, man. As it looks like I have been disconnected from BattleNet. I'm still here on Twitch. I'm still on the internet, but feels bad, man. Feels bad. I mean, to be fair, leading into this, like, we do see the Homeowner, he is snowballing out of control. There was an Ultra Cavern on the way. That, of course, can change things. There is an Ultra Cavern on the way, and we're pulling back. We do have a Viper still alive as well for Joey. A comeback is still potentially available. Things are looking dire for Joey, don't get me wrong. But it looks like we will not be able to see the tail end of that series. Or of that game, sorry. As, I'll restart my client just in case. But we have disconnected from BattleNet. at least from that game. I mean, I'm still on BattleNet. Like, everything is still fine, but feels bad, man. Feels bad. So we're gonna be going on a short break. And when we return, hopefully we have our next game. As they most likely are just gonna be continuing. They probably think that I have like disconnected or something like that. So it makes sense for them to just continue the game, and yeah, we will have to just wait and hear the results once they do come out. So again, going to be going on a short break. It's unfortunate that did occur. Feels bad, man. But what can we do? what can we do? It's just BattleNet, BattleNet. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. We'll see you guys soon. So welcome, oh my god, and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I do apologize for the break and for things going down, but we have returned, and we're jumping in mid-series. Like, we didn't get the tail end of that game, but we are tied up 1-1. Homemono did take game number 2 with an insane comeback, with a big mistake as well that did occur when it came to the move command. But here we go in the bottom right hand corner, we have Homemono representing Hyper 1. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong representing the Juggernauts, going for a gas first opener. Once again, it is Go-Go Joey. Sorry, I'm a little bit frazzled, but essentially, after we did end up timing out, after we were DC'd from BattleNet, the game continued, and Homemono did snowball into a victory, which, again, the writing was on the wall when it came to that. Go-Go Joe was in a lot of trouble. He lost momentum, he was losing bases, he could not keep up with Homemono, and a lot of that comeback did come down to the move command. If you recall, there was that move command at the natural base where Go-Go Joey, he had broken Homemono, he was winning, he had crippled the economy, killed everything at the third, pushing into the natural, pushing towards the main. But a bit of army miscontrol, and Go-Go Joey did end up losing that in the end. Did slip through his fingers. As a result, we have a series. As a result, we are tied up 1-1. The DC server. Oh. Not like this. The puns, Poppy, the puns. As we're getting back into this, for those wondering, we are playing on the Taiwanese server, which is on the Asia region. So Taiwan and Korea, they both share the Asia region, for those wondering. And here we go with a gas pool hatch opener. 2 games in a row from Go-Go Joey. Does lead into fast link speed, does lead into faster roaches later on as well. Very aggressive build here from Go-Go Joey. As the Reaper does dive into the main base, is looking to pick off a couple of drones as well. Up! Almost gets one. We'll get the hell out of there. As Reaper heads into the main base as well. Going to be threatening that mineral line. Doesn't quite get a drone. Not yet. Up! As he's just being as annoying as possible. Behind this, we do have a follow-up. 1 drone does go down. Oh my god, we almost get a second as well. The Reaper! There is no way out. There's no way to escape! The Ling does not get hidden, but the Queen does, and the Reaper goes down. 1 drone for 1 Reaper. Not the best trade from Honmono. But, I mean, regardless, the Reaper does quickly kind of run out of value over time, and at least we got 1 drone. Back at home, it's going to be a 3cc opener. It was a rack expand into factory into 3rd cc. Very economic once again. 2 games in a row. Both players are mirroring each other. We're in game number 1, or in that last game, Go-Go Joey went for a gas first. Likewise, Honmono went for a 3cc 2-on-1, and we're seeing that again. That is 2 racks on the way. There is a bit of a notable difference here, and that is that this time Honmono doesn't make Cyclones first. He's going into Hellions, which is a little bit more traditional. Now with these Hellions, if he wants to, if he preserves them over the course of this early game, we could even go for a Hellbat push once we kick in with Stim. That is a possibility, but against a roach-based composition, unlikely. Unwise. As Hellions are moving out to gain map control. And Go-Go Joey back at home is throwing down that Roach Warren. So Go-Go Joey playing the same way. And I don't blame him. Like, again, Go-Go Joey, he was winning that last game. He was in a prime position to take it as well. So he knows that if he does more of the same, he could maybe, oh my god, get a bit of result as the Hellions, they dive into the main. The drones are lighting up. 8 workers, no! 9 workers go down, 11 drones even. Ay, ay, ay. 11 workers in total. That is devastating this early on. Go-Go Joey's economy plummeting. You can see it going deep in the red, deep in favor of Honmono. And now Go-Go Joey, he has to go for a counterattack. But what is there back at home to defend? We have Marines. We don't have Stim, but enough Marines to cover each other. And Go-Go Joey, he cannot push up the ramp. Just is not possible. A couple of roaches are rocking up, and they've rallied into the national. No, they've rallied in, and it looks like they will escape. Behind this, 3rd CC is being taken. We're getting set up here on 3 Raxes. A solid setup here from Honmono. Say 3-1-1 on 3 bases. Should be throwing down additional Raxes soon, and they're now on the way. And now we're going for some drop play. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Go-Go Joey, he's also adjusting. As he's fully aware he's up against a Bio army. The Queen is going to go down. This army getting a bit out of hand. We work through the Lings, we work through the Roaches as well. Boys, they have to be pulled away. And this double drop really catching Go-Go Joey off guard. That's 6 drones going down, and this is snowballing out of control. This is already too much. We get a second Queen, a couple of Lings, they trickle in however they can, and with these reinforcements, we finally force this back, but that was 6 workers once again this early on. This is just too much damage. I was about to say that Go-Go Joey, he's adjusting and he's going into a more Ling Bane heavy composition instead, with +1 melee and a faster Baneling nest. So Ling Bane Ravager even from Go-Go Joey. But losing so many drones this early on is brutal. 18 workers in total. Behind this, Honmono, he's on a 3-base saturation. He's ahead economically. We're even in workers, but that's not counting mules. And now the pressure, the onus is on Gogo-Joey to come back. Gogo-Joey, he needs to somehow come in with a bailing run by or a link counter attack. He needs to do some kind of economic damage to come back into this. But now the homeowner, he is sitting back at home. Run by is coming in, but the Marines are in position. Ugh. Homeowner, he was ready for it. Bailing speed on the way. And homeowner is sending everything across the map. Let's go 2 tanks. Armory's on the way for 2-2. 1-1 is done for the Terran. Armory is delayed. 4cc thrown down behind this push as well. Not a badly timed 4. As homeowner is pushing. Tanks so far, not quite siege, where we do not have enough to deal with this. At the same time, a link counterattack does get into the mineral line. SCVs are going down, but the main army, can it be stopped? It cannot. Homeowner is snowballing out of control. He may be losing some workers back at home, but he takes down the 3rd base. And he is pushing towards the natural. He knows that there is nothing here that can slow him down. There are more Bailings in production, but we need more than just Bailings. Up. Oh, they're going to get some decent connections. Wilds will connect, and with these links, it looks like we do force this back. Gogo-Joey, he barely holds. He killed, what, 12 SCVs back at home. But the economy of Homemono still looking strong. And the army is looking stronger. It's just, over the course of this game, Gogo-Joey, he's just been losing too many workers over and over again, time and time again. And it may all just culminate in this push. We do have an infestation pit now thrown down for Gogo-Joey, so if we were to get into infestors, is there a world where we get like the best fungals possible to deal with this army? Maybe. Gogo-Joey, he attempts to engage, but it's a numbers game at this point. He cannot push in. Not against this many Marines and Marauders. And Homeowner, he's just pushing on through. He tanks some Bailings with the Marauders. We get a really nice split. Really nice spread, I should say. And we're pushing on forward, threatening this 3rd base of Bailings. They do crash in from behind. We get on top of one of those tanks. But the tanks survive. One tank goes down, but GG gets called. There's just too much Terran, too much Bio, and Honmono will take a 2-1 lead in this series. GG. GG, well played. Again, off of the back of doing so much economic damage with those Hellions. It started with the Hellions, and then it followed up with the double medevac drop, if you remember. I think it was 11 drones initially, and then 6 more afterwards. It was insane how many workers Homeowner was able to kill in the early game, and that just snowballed out of control. Just became too much, and just like that, Homeowner, he needs one more, uno más, to win it all, to become this week's Grand Platypus Open champion. There we go, just setting up the score here. It is 1st to 3, best of 5, 1st to 3 wins between our players, and here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran, living the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1, one game away from becoming this week's champion. It is Honmono. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong, representing the Juggernauts. He needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Gogo Joey. Here we go. And once again, Homono does not go for a proxy, and Gogo Joey, for the first time this series, for the first time in the finals, we have a hatch first. Let's go. Gogo Joey has been going for gas first openers this entire series, but now is kind of diverting away from that. On a map like Hecate, it makes sense. This is a more macro-oriented map. Is going hatch, gas pool instead. Going for a much more economic opener here in the early game. I do appreciate it. See in chat, the most honorable of honorables. Exactly. So economic opener out of our Zerg, likewise an economic opener out of our Terran. As we have seen, whenever Homono goes for a Rax expand, he goes for the expand on the high ground. Now this is a very safe way to play, a little bit unnecessary, but I can understand the logic. For those wondering, this basically protects you against pool first. If your opponent does go for an earlier pool timing, if their lings get across the map, then they can delay your CC on the low ground. They can get in, get a kill in the SCV, and just delay that expansion. So Homono keeps it safe behind this wall. It means that it's going to take a little bit longer to float over and actually land on location, but just a very safe build. Very few Terran players do this, but specifically in this region, because the Zergs are so aggressive, as we saw, Gogo Joey, he's been going for gas first openers every game so far. It makes sense to go for the CC on the high ground. You know, it's almost like a build specifically catered for this region and for these players. I should say an opener specifically catered for these players. As Homono is going for a third CC right after this, so once again, economic here out of Homono. And there is that second Rax, so 3CC 2-on-1. He's done this every game so far in the finals. He's done a variation of this every game. The game that he lost, game 1. Oh, sorry, the game number 1 where he did win actually, did open up Cyclone. This time he's going Hellion again. Now, we saw that these Hellions, they were the MVP on side Delta. They killed so many drones. Can we replicate that? Can we do that again? I hope not. I hope we get it back. I want an ace match. That's what I want, but we'll see. We shall see. As a Roach Horn is thrown down, gases are being taken from Gogo Joey. So despite going for an economic opener, Gogo Joey is still getting into roaches. It is his bread and butter in this matchup. And here we go, the Hellions are moving out. Overlord confirms the base setup, confirms the production in the main base, as well as the third CC. Hellions, they go straight for the third, and they're going to get some drones. Oh, that's a kill on the Spore. So 2 workers go down. Not too bad. The Hellions, they rotate around. They outposition the Queen. Not again. Okay. Not again, Papi. This time, they do outposition the Queens, but there are Lings here at the natural, and this time, Homono does not dive. Not this time. Oh, the Ursadak. Hello. I know, it looked like he wanted to get involved. As the Hellions are going to be forced back towards the left-hand side. He wants the Queen, but he will not get it. Hellions are forced back, and this time Gogo Joey is having a more stable and secure early game, which is important, especially when you're playing roaches. You need to minimize your losses, minimize your damage. As the Roach Warren, it was cancelled. Cancelled Roach Warren into double Evo Chamber, double upgrades, Bailey Nest. Ling Bane is coming out from Gogo Joey. Let's go. So far, we only have 3 gases as well. If we take additional gases, we could maybe go into a Spire, as the lair is on the way. So I am curious if we try to go into Spire or Hydras. Both are viable. Both have their place. As Go-Go Joey does get eyes on the 3rd CC, is going to be delaying it and, oh, even forcing some mules here. At the same time, double jump on the right-hand side is going to be landing here at the 4th base. At the same time, we have Hellions threatening a dive into the 3rd. And that is going to be a cancel. No, that's a kill. I was a little bit concerned. That was a kill, not a cancel on the 4th base. That is 300 minerals down the drain. The Queen goes down at the same time. Hellions, they get into the mineral line. They get 5 worker kills before going down. At least Go-Go Joey does clean up the Hellions. Even forcing friendly fire. At least the Hellions did go down, but that is still a brutal loss for Go-Go Joey to lose that hat-trick, for that to be a kill and not a cancel. They may even deny it again. Oh, the target firing. Getting all 3 Railings before being forced to pick up. Back at home, Homono finally getting his third base up and running. Throwing down additional Raxes. Oh, and that is going to be the 6th and 7th Rax. We'll keep an eye on Homono to see if he 8 Raxes. One soon to kick in. Homono is just vying for map control. Being as active as he can. Armory is on the way for 2-2 eventually for Honmono. Oh, Go-Go Joey heavily supply blocked actually. Oh my god. So yes, 4 Overlords just now finishing up. They are done. Up. Widowmine does go up. It does go off. Go-Go Joey barely able to keep up here. Getting into his 2-2, I believe the infestation bit is done. No hive yet, but all of our upgrades have kicked in for the Terran. Second factory, 4 CC on the way. Homono is not going for a 3-base all-in. Homono is playing for a longer game. And can Go-Go Joey keep up? He attempts to go for a lane counterattack. Once again, there's an army on the right-hand side going to be going straight for the hatchery. Lings are in position. The Banelings! The target firing here, the Banelings, they go down. There was no support. Queens are falling soon thereafter as well. Flush transfuse. But one Queen still falls. As Go-Go Joey at least dealt with the army on the right-hand side. He's holding. It hasn't been easy, but Go-Go Joey, he's now almost up to 80 workers. He's now past 80 workers. He can focus on his Ling Bane. The mines! Oh my god. And now Go-Go Joey, he is looking to just make use of his economy, make use of his production. Homono trying to force the issue, but Go-Go Joey can deal with this. As I say that, the spread is too good. Homono, he breaks through. The Banelings, the connections were not good enough. Decent connections here towards the end. We're trying to get into Ling Bane Hydra, but the Banelings, oh my god. There's still just barely too much here. The Marines, they take down the Queens. More Ling Bane is rolling on in, and Go-Go Joey will hold. Go-Go Joey barely holds on. Behind this, Homeowner now going to be taking another expansion. Now taking his 4th. We have a Fusion Core on the way. This should be for Liberators. For Lib Range. But the aggression just does not stop. Now without, like, Lurkers would be ideal in this position. Going Ling Bane into Hydra Lurker. Especially against Biomine. But we're not there yet. Hive still hasn't... I feel like this is an oversight. 100%. This is 100% an oversight. No Hive yet. This infestation bit has been done for quite some time. We're staying on Lair Tech. Go-Go Joey's pushing out. Oof, oh my god, the mine shots! They're brutal. Mine shots are brutal. Gogojoy forced back. And Homeowner, he knows that he has momentum. He knows how well he just traded. Hive does begin. Yeah, we're going to be able to keep on pushing. Little mines are resetting. Going for a double drop into the main. There are spores in position, but not quite an army. Joey not ready for this. Not yet. There we go. We go for the Doom drop into the main base. Lings are coming in to reinforce. We have Bailing Hydra to defend, but oh my god, the Bailings, they just cannot connect. Oh, decent connections. Not bad. Homono does take some Bailings to the face, but he breaks through. He will get on top of the base. Hatchery goes down. Thankfully, Gogojoy does have a backup fourth. Homono, he's also on 4 bases. Gogojoy just heavily oversaturated. He needs a 5th here if he wants to actually mine efficiently. And Homono is going to back off, rotate around towards these northern bases. The main force back. Widow mines are burrowing. Again, it's just non-stop aggression basically from Honmono. Oh, but the Bailings! They crash in. Some good Bailing connections here, and Honmono is being forced back. Gogojoy, he can keep pushing. He can, and he will. Gogojoy, he has finally broken the back of the army here of Honmono. Being forced all the way back to his main base. Contamination on the factory. Let's go. As there's only a handful of Marines remaining here, the Lings, they try to go first around. But we have gotten on top of the production. Depots are falling. Lingbane gets into the mineral line as well. SCVs are going down one after the other, and it looks like Gogojoy finally has done it. Ooh, didn't need lurkers. Lings, Bailings, Hydras, and a dream is all he needed. As we are breaking through. The spread not good enough. Bailings, they connect. GG, and Gogojoy fights back, tying up the series 2-2. We have an ace match. Let's go. GG. Oh my god. And that was close. That was a little bit that was a little bit concerning just because of how close it was that Homono was almost able to break through, almost able to break Gogojoy then and there. There was that moment when Gogojoy lost his 4th, when the 4th base was killed, not cancelled, and Homono, he was trading so well against the Lingbane, but just barely not well enough. We saw towards the end that there was a little bit of lapse in control, and Gogojoy, he was connecting with his Bailings, he was cleaning up the army a little bit more efficiently. He was able to surpass his opponent, and as a result, we're going all the way. We are going the distance. We have an ace match. Let's go. We have a game 5. To have a game 5 before us. Our players are asking for a break. I don't blame them. They're like, Bafi, we need some time. Oh, it's okay, it's okay. Just take a moment here, take a breath, get some water, go to the bathroom, drain your disruptors, massage your Marines, hydrate your Hydras. And our players will be will soon be ready. Soon be ready for us. Backup 4th be with you. Okay, looks like we're good to go. We just needed a moment, but we are good to go. So we're getting into game number 5, the final game of this series, the ace match. It all ends here. On Solaris. Here we go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan. Representing Team Hyper 1, it is Hun Mono. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the blue Zerg player from the land of Hong Kong. Representing the Juggernauts, it is Gogo Joey. Comes down to this, as once again we revert to a gas first. Gas full opener here from Gogo Joy. For the first and only time this series, last game we had a hatch first build out of Gogo Joy, but this time it looks like he wants to try to hard counter some cheese. So in case Homono were to go for a proxy Rax kind of build, Gogo Joy would be ready for it, and again, is in a way misreading because Homono is going for a standard opener. No proxy this time. Calming things down. Now, with this fast gas opener, it means that Gogo Joy will have faster access to link speed and also a Roach Warren as well. So Gogo Joey is going to be the aggressor here in the early game, and Homono more or less should be the defender. So how long do we have? Oh, we have WTL is in 40 minutes. Oh my god. 40 minutes, man. But now we have a racked expand opener here from Honmono. Roach Warren is thrown down. As we mentioned, because it was gas first, it leads into a Roach Warren. Now, what is interesting here is that Gogo Joey didn't just go Roaches, he actually skipped link speed. I assumed it would be link speed into a Roach Warren, but we went for one and not the other. Oh boy. As the Reaper is coming in for a scout, does confirm the hatchery is late. We're going to dive into the main. Queen is in position, but we ignore the Queen. We go straight for the Mineral Lion, and we do get eyes on the Roach Warren. Roaches have been spotted, and Homeowner, he can prepare back at home. Can I get ready for this? Reaper going to be dipping between the bases. Link speed now going to be on the way, but the first couple of Roaches are pushing. Now, what's important is that this is not all in. I'm pretty sure Gogo Joy wants to try to fake it out, especially with not having link speed on the way, but now we're droning. He's focusing on his economy behind this, and he only made 3 Roaches, so only a 3 Roach opener. Reaper does see the saturation, does see the drones are being made. Very important rescout from Honmono. So essentially he just confirms that his opponent isn't attacking. Up. Ooh, this one drone barely goes down. And oh, we do have a very interesting start here from Honmono as well. He isn't just going for a racked expand, but behind this, he's going for a fast concussive shell and cyclone production. Oh, because we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything is okay. But yeah, this follow-up is really interesting here. Going for cyclones, going for marauders as well. A very unorthodox push. Now, this marauder was just scattered by the Ling. Gogo Joy does see this coming and should be preparing back at home. Oh, as we are getting back into this.
Game resumed.
Here we go, the push is upon us. Cyclones and Marauders moving out across the map. Gonna be able to get on top of this Overlord as well. Overlord will fall. And we're looking to force a cancel here on this base. Thanks to the Marauder, we do have a lot of DPS available. Roach Ravager getting caught out. One Roach goes down. And Concussive Shell coming in clutch. It's only 2 Marauders. But it changes so much of this dynamic. A Queen goes down. We're going to get a second Queen as well. Oh, barely are. Reinforcements are trickling on in, and it looks like Gogojoy should be able to clean this up, but not without losing more Roaches and Ravagers. Oh my god. The trades. As Gogojoy will hold on to his base. Did take so much damage here on this hatchery, but he killed 2. That was for 2 Cyclones and 2 Marauders. There was 15 Lings, 2 Queens, a couple of Roaches, a Ravager as well. But at least Gogojoy does hold and does preserve his worker count. So we are going to be droning back at home. A massive gateway explosion. Racked explosion here. Starport now on the way. Double E-bays. Now, to make this build work, to make this attack work, we did heavily delay the Starport. Now on the way. Cyclones are chilling back at home. We're getting to a bio-heavy composition once again. That's a stretch, buddy. As Gogojoy, he's coming in for a surround. He collapses on top of the army, gets on top of the Cyclones as well, catching Honmono completely off guard. Oh my god. Behind this, we did have a wave of workers, but SCVs are being pulled. SCVs are going down as well. Gogojoy getting a lot of damage done. Again, behind this, double Evo chamber. We're saturating the 3rd base. But Gogojoy, he takes control of the 3rd, getting 13 workers. Up the Ling. Ling goes down. The betrayal. Now Gogojoy, he doesn't have enough to break the natural base, but killing 13 workers, losing mainly Lings. You can see here, 27 Lings for all those SCVs. And Cyclones as well. A good trade for Gogojoy. As the pressure is now on Honmono to get damage done. He's going for a double drop across the map. At the same time, we once again deny the 3rd. There isn't much at home to defend, by the way. Again, I wonder if we realize that the drop has gone. The tank going to go down as well. And we're getting ready to the main base. We do recognize that a drop is potentially moving out and has been spotted. Gogojoy's in position. He almost takes down one of the Metamax. He will force this back. So really good movement here out of Gogojoy, averting disaster, keeping up with the drop play. We're going to try and force a cancel on this 4th base, but again, Gogojoy, he is here, is able to keep up. And behind this, Honmono, he's still on 2 bases, still doesn't have a 3rd. Still trying to keep up, trying to catch up as well. As Gogojoy's upgrades have been heavily delayed this game, but finally 1-1 is kicking in. We can now start working on 2-2. We do have the resources for it. Gonna be droning up to 70 at this point. Gogojoy's economy is just getting out of control. And we're continuing to tech Macro Hatchery, Infestation Pit for a hive, for infestors, for vipers. Gogojoy is just getting further and further ahead, and Honmono needs a miracle. Now, to be fair, miracles have already happened this series. Honmono, it was game 1 where he was able to pull off an insane comeback on Alkyone. He just needs to do that again. Needs to try to pull that off. As Gogojoy does pull back home. Hive now on the way for, I imagine, vipers. Creep is less than ideal. The creep is connecting the bases, but barely really out on the map. Except for this Overlord. shout out to the Overlord. Spreading whatever creep we can. Here we go. Tumor is now being activated. And Homeowner, he's just hurtling on up. We have a sensor tower on the way, soon to be turrets, a tank line as well. He's ready to receive. We have a fusion core for Liberator range. I'm assuming it's for Lib range, and actually it could even be for the medevac upgrade, which we have seen Homeowner take. I still don't know what it's called. A medevac upgrade. I've asked the chat before for it, and it's been told to me, I just forget it. There it is. There's that medevac upgrade. Love to see it. Is of course new to this patch. Hatcheries are thrown down. Vipers are on the way as well. And this is what I'm worried about. Even though Homeowner, he is just fortifying himself here with a tank line, with SimCity, with Marines, with a pre-spread. A couple of Vipers, a couple of Blinding Clouds, and we can still break this. We'll still deal with this army. Drop is being forced back. And the army has been spotted. Joey, he's max. He's up 40 supply. How many Vipers do we have? 2 Vipers. They are still lacking energy. There we go. A bit of an oversight there from Joey. He has to wait a little bit longer. This is going to give Homeowner the time he needs to max. So again, because these Vipers are delayed, Homeowner has a chance. Does have a chance. 3-3 in production for both players. We have an Ultra Cavern and a Spire. So Joey, he's just continuing to take on up, double expanding, taking these fringe bases. Still on a solid economy. But again, pushing into this. Oh boy, I'm ready for it. The Vipers, there we go, now being added to the army control group. Now moving out. We are ready for the assault. But Homeowner, he's maxed. Does unsiege for a moment, so we have to be very careful. Here we go, Joey threatening a dive. And we've seen this before, the death bull of an army here of Homeowner pushing through the center of the map. We do have Vipers, but coming in. Up! Blinding Clouds, oh my god, covering almost every single tank! Oh, the clump was real! And every single tank is gonna go down. Homeowner caught with his pants down. 2 Blinding Clouds is all we needed. And that is the entire army here of Homeowner falling. There's 1 tank left, a couple of Marines remaining as well. We're going to be able to clean up these approaches at least. But we have Ultras on the way. Ultras, more Ling Bane as well. Joey did overextend towards the end there, but he is up 80, 90, soon to be almost 100 supply. 3-3 about to kick in. And it was just so unfortunate that Homeowner, he was just caught unsieged, caught not quite ready for the attack. When he did siege, I mean, again, everything was bunched up. The spread was not there. And then once again, we unsiege at the wrong moment. We dive on top of the army. We're trying to re-siege as quickly as possible. Just an unfortunate timing for Homeowner as the Ling Bane rolls on forward. Good stutter stepping, good control here from this bio army, but there's just so little remaining. And we bust into the natural base. SCVs are going down. GG gets called, and Joey is going to be this week's Grand Platypus Open champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Joey. That was close. again, Gogo Joey did give Homeowner, or Homeowner was able to max out that game. He was able to max out on a tank bio army. But when it came to the engagement in the center of the map, it did not go well for Homeowner. The Blinding Clouds were just so impactful there. Because the army was bunched up, because it was clumped up, it only took a couple of Blinding Clouds to cover not just the tanks, but also a lot of Marines and Marauders as well. And we just collapsed on that location. Homeowner lost everything, and that was it. That was game. GG, well played. GG, and with that, we have our champion this week. Again, both these players have been GPO champions in the past. They've all had their own, you know, time in the sun here. But this week, it's going to be Gogo Joey. It was close, though. It went all the way to the ace match. There was a lot of tension throughout a lot of these matches as well. And yeah, in the end, Gogo Joey did come out on top. Honmono coming out barely here at second place. I'm sure he's not too upset with this. Both players will still walk away with some cash prize money. So GG, congratulations. Again, if you want to support this tournament, !Patreon in the chat. Or of course, you can get into our Match Reno link as well. You can see our goal underneath Homeowner's name. Our current Patreon goal, or currently how much we spend on a monthly basis, is 300 USD. And we are almost 2/3 of the way there. Almost 2/3 of the way there when it comes to community funding. We still run our tournaments, we still pay that much on a monthly basis anyway. But our goal is to have it funded by Patreon and then grow it via Patreon as well, you know, boosting the prize pool, maybe having our events be more consistent. At the moment, our events are every 2 weeks. They're on a bi-weekly basis. And if we do reach certain goals on Patreon, then we can turn our bi-weeklies into weeklies instead. So again, if you're interested in supporting these tournaments like Grand Platypus Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is tomorrow, and the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, then you can do so via Patreon. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. That does wrap up our third broadcast of the day. We were live earlier today with ESL Masters Winter Americas. And then we were live a couple of hours ago with KSL, and we just wrapped up GPO. We have one more cast, WTL, in 20 minutes. And I don't know if I can do it. I've slept very little today. I slept for 4 hours. For 4 hours before KSL. In between KSL and ESL Masters, I slept 4 hours. And that was good for KSL. I don't know if you could hear me here from the lower bracket finals onwards. I was slurring my words a little bit. I'm very tired. I was slurring my words a little bit. I feel very exhausted here just because I did not sleep enough. Unfortunately, I thought I could maybe power through. But especially considering that we have more casting to do tomorrow, a lot more casting to do, we may end up catching up on WTL another day. I'm very on the fence about this because I'm pretty sure we were the only English casters the other day. So if I think Wardy and Roddy might be busy with ESL Masters. If they are, then there won't be any English coverage for WTL tonight. So I'm very on the fence about this decision, but you know, hopefully either Rotterdam or Wardy aren't doing ESL Masters today. They can cover WTL, and there's gonna be at least one community caster on the event. Fingers crossed. We're gonna be catching up. If we don't cast WTL tonight, then we will be catching up another day. We do have access to the clean feed, and we'll be casting, you know, either on Tuesday or Wednesday. During the week. So we'll have a catch-up stream at some point. But outside of that, I mean, we're done for now. In 20 minutes time is WTL, and hey, you know, if one of the other English streams is going to be casting like Wardy or Rotterdam, you know, check them out. You know, they do good casting on their own channels as well, and they're going to be able to bring you some coverage. So check them out. Otherwise, we're going to be live on our channel at some point this week with WTL to catch up. As yeah, for now we're going to be heading off. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. So give them some love and support. Again, a big shout out to Gogo Joey for becoming our champion this week. And yeah, stick around. Give another soccer streamer a chance, as we do give them some love and support. You can also follow us on social media, !socials in the chat for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We upload to YouTube on a daily basis, and of course, you can check us out on YouTube and Discord and all that good stuff as well. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, because tomorrow we have Sparkling Tuna Cup, we have World Team League, and for certain we're going to be casting WTL tomorrow, because I'm going to get a good night rest. And we may even cast some ESL Masters. With that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We're going to be heading off. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.